We up in here. What up, Fight World? It's the kid Ego, Boxing Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. We just gonna mellow out, a little late night stream. Sorry if you live on the East Coast, might be a little bit late for you, or if you live in the UK or Brisbane or somewhere like that. I want to talk about a couple topics. Yo, what's good? What's good with everybody? That boy Josh Kelly is sweet in there. I like Josh Kelly. Teddy Atlas. Got him. We're gonna talk about all of it. We're gonna talk, you know how I do on my live stream. We talk about the hottest news, what everybody wanna talk about on this side. The real side. Come to Death Row. I told you, this is Death Row East. It's an expansion, personification, everything I did on the west side. We taking over globally. I plan to come to the UK, maybe to Canada if they have a good fight. I should have went to Billy Joe Saunders, David Lemieux, but I got to get my passport situated. Yeah. What up, Fight World? Shout out to David Munoz. Oh yeah, we filling up in the stream zone, which is good, cause we gonna talk about some things. Make sure y'all smash the like button. You come in. See, I noticed an influx of haters, cause see this. I'm gonna tell y'all the steps, man. I'm gonna tell you how this game goes, and new media, especially since I've been going hard lately, like going hard in the sense of my work ethic is just flowing. I just been working and doing more live streams. You know what I mean? Planning that hostile takeover for 2018. So, you know it comes with more hate. They don't want to see new media shine. Some people want that old shit. And see, this is the difference though. Everything I say, well, not everything, but majority of the things I say, some of it's opinion, but majority of the things I say, we got the hot seat. So if you think I made a factual error and you disagree for that reason, then that's how we handle it. Like real gladiators. Damn, we got UK in here, man. He hit me with that Terrence Howard. Man, different than a dog, man. New media, man. Why does Terrence Howard always sound like he's finna cry and shit? What's up with it, Iron Man, man? Shout out to Chicago. Let's do a roll call, because I see the UK stayed up late for this. Chicago in the building for this. Rockford, Illinois up in this. Where y'all at? Where y'all from? Mississippi, Chicago, Kansas City, East Oakland, but he in North Richmond. Get it? Bay Area, you already know that. VA, Utah, Long Beach, New York City, Trinidad, Irish boy, H-Town, South Central, LA, Jamaica, Denver, Colorado, Vegas, South Central, Anchorage, Alaska, Gary, Indiana. I think that's the home of Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. 402, Omaha, Crawford's home, San Jose, Austin, Cali, Houston, Texas. Oh my gosh, we everywhere, people. Florida, Bronx, 504, the 504 boys, Victorville, Oregon, Dominicano, ATL. We represented, people. We probably don't got that many from the UK because it's late. If I would have started earlier, but we coast to coast with it. Shout out to Dallas. Shout out to Hustletown, wherever that's at. I don't know what's Hustletown, but shout out to y'all. We global with it. New media. Okay, we got a UK up in here. Shout out to United Kingdom, man. What do y'all want to talk about first? You guys seen some of the stuff we're going to talk about in the title. Shout out to South Carolina, Houston. Okay, Houston for hustle. Oregon, Saudi Arabia. Okay, we everywhere. We're going to do another roll call. Garcia. Listen, someone said let's talk about Garcia Loma. That's the first thing I seen. Mikey, listen, Lomachenko had a very good, strong performance. People felt split. It was supposed to be that type of fight, and he made it look like a different type of fight, right? Similar to Terrence Crawford versus Victor Postal, when you looked at it on paper, it's supposed to be a big unification, a big fight at the time, and then Crawford just pulls away easy, and it didn't even look like they should have been in the ring. Now, the difference, that's why I say similar, because Crawford was actually smaller than Victor Postal. You could say Victor Postal didn't have 2 Olympic gold medals, but Rigondeaux didn't. I mean, Victor Postal wasn't shorter like Rigondeaux was, and he didn't jump up 2 weight classes. So, some differences, but nonetheless, Rigondeaux called for it. You got to keep that in mind. Rigondeaux called for the fight. People like myself, new media, and just fans of boxing, our curiosity was sparked. So we pushed for the fight. Hey, he's saying he can do it. We want to see it. And Lomachenko accepted. So I give him credit for that. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Now, some people have this notion like I'm trying to downplay Vasily Lomachenko's win. And that's absolutely not the case. Has nothing to do with, because like I said, going into the fight, we knew what was stacked against Rigondeaux. Height deficit, weight deficit. Lomachenko's a champion in that weight class. Rigondeaux has no fights at that weight class. He was moving up to weight. I mean, we knew that. Again, even the people who were pulling for him and thought he could win, it's not that they were obliged or oblivious to what he was up against. He took the fade. He jumped up, took the fade. Kell Brook jumped up, took the fade. Amir Khan jumped up with Canelo, took the fade. Shit happens. But you got to put wins in perspective. And the problem with, this is the thing with Lomachenko. It has nothing to do with Lomachenko. It has everything to do with the machine surrounding Lomachenko. I get it. He's a 2-time gold medalist. He's an accomplished Olympian, 2 gold medals. His style has transitioned very well to the pro game. And in a very short period of time, he's been able to do stuff that other Olympians like Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, Canelo, or whoever who's not Olympian, but they haven't been able to do in such a short period of time because they have different experiences. Now, I'm hearing some of the dumbest comparisons. And this is what I want new media. This is what I want new media fans. If you're a fan of the truth, you're a fan of Ego's Army, listen to what people say. That's all, including me. Listen to what people say. To compare the fact that Lomachenko has fought better competition in 11 fights means nothing. I mean, when we've seen one guy's whole career, 50 fights or 50 plus fights or whatever, and we've seen his whole career, me telling someone about the first 11 of their, you know what I mean? What does that really mean? Because if you really think about it, Lomachenko probably has a better resume than 99% of people, including Oscar De La Hoya, who's a gold medalist, unlike Floyd Mayweather. But that, to me, that doesn't prove anything. You can't compare Lomachenko to what De La Hoya did, because De La Hoya fought Ike Corte, beat Julio Cesar Chavez twice. He fought against Shane Mosley and arguably won the second one, but he fought him twice. He fought Pacquiao. He fought Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? So what are we really talking? Listen to what people say, people. Listen to what they're saying. You know what I mean? You can't compare it to, because Floyd in his 8th fight didn't fight a Nicholas Walters level person. Who cares? All we know is, fast forward to the future, we've seen more of Floyd's career. Period. It's the end of the day. So just listen for the dumb logic. That's why Terrence Crawford released that tweet the other day. Like, y'all gotta stop at that stupid talk, because stuff like that is stupid talk. Lomachenko, listen, Lomachenko probably had better fights than Tim Bradley, Andre Ward, Manny Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Floyd did in their first 10 fights. That's a cool accomplishment, but it doesn't mean anything because the other guys have solidified themselves based on who the fuck they fought as legends. Julio Cesar Chavez fought 89 motherfuckers, and you probably can't name 5 of them. You know what I mean? But it was after that point, when he stepped up in competition, we got to see that Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. still could hang. Still can hang. How rare is it, Ego, how rare is it for a fighter to get a title fight on? I don't get the question. What is it? Yeah, and see that, shout out to the Cali Enigma. People see, people people like the Cali Enigma clearly listening, because he says, listening not to me but listening to what people say. He said he was also older than those fighters too. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, people are, they're taking what could be just a real cool, like, party favor or accomplishment and talking point, and then they're making it into something. I just said this on the live stream the other day. Canelo is 2 years younger than Lomachenko, and in my opinion, he has a better resume than Lomachenko. Now, it took him more fights to get there because he doesn't have 2 Olympic gold medals, and he had to fight grown men at age 15 and find his way in the world. But none of that really matters, because as it sits right now, Lomachenko being a pro, Canelo being a pro, Canelo is younger with a better resume. Canelo has just fought TBE, Floyd Mayweather, whether he won or lost. Lomachenko has not fought anyone that you can even measure to Floyd Mayweather. Nicholas Walters, Gary Russell. Gary Russell, I mean, I love the guy. Like, I think Gary Russell's a great fighter, but who has Gary Russell fought that you would compare his resume to Floyd? Johnny Gonzalez? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about, people? Shout out to Somalia. You know what I'm saying? You guys got to analyze what you're saying. And see, this is where it comes down to the wire, is real boxing fans. That's why Mikey Garcia, Robert Garcia, so a 2-time former champion in those lighter divisions, Robert Garcia, a current lightweight champion who even beat Broner at 140, which is a good win when he doesn't have that much experience there. People like Terrence Crawford, undefeated, arguably #1 pound for pound, they're saying the same thing as me. They're not corroborating what Dan Rayfield and ESPN are saying. That's what I'm talking about. So all the people that, oh, Ego, you hate Loma, you're so biased. I don't work for ESPN. I don't only talk good about ESPN fighters. So I have no reason to hate on Lomachenko. He never did nothing to me. And I have no reason to lie and overly promote. But Dan Rayfield does. You know what I mean? Bob Arum might be throwing him cheeseburgers or something every time he writes a good article or releases one of them tweets. He might get a fuck around and get a animal style double-double. I don't know what kind of deals people got. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, people, oh, you're biased. I'm not biased. Like, one of the greatest things about YouTube is I'm not tied down to any one promotional company. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been to Golden Boy fights, I've been to Top Rank fights, and I've been to PBC fights. I've been to K2 fights. I've been to every, like, what are we really saying? Gary Shaw. I've been to all types of fights. Like, I'm not locked down by anybody. I was at Canelo Triple G just the same way 3 weeks before I was at Mayweather McGregor. And 3 weeks before that, I was at Crawford and Dongo. What are we really saying? You know what I'm saying? So, like, that whole new media shutting shit down. And that's why people are panicking and hit the dislike button. Like I say all the time, don't believe all that. Hold people to it. Hold their feet to the fire. You dislike it, disprove it. Like, every single time I'm in this hot seat and you see the bodies counting up. You see it stacking up. You know what I mean? I might be featured on Forensic Files sometime soon. And it's not that people don't understand what I'm saying. It has something to do with they don't like what I'm saying for whatever reason, even if it's factual. And that's just what it is. That's how I see it. Like, for example, I'm like, we might be able to sucker someone into the hot seat right now because I want someone to prove me wrong. Like I told you, I'm Ego Ali. I'm ready to back up every word I'm saying. I can back up every word I'm saying. I can show you right now who's with it. Who's with it? Who's with it? You know what I'm saying? Who's with it? That's what, you know what I'm saying? And see, this is the thing. Like, okay, like I did a video and I talked about Dan Rayfield's tweet or whatever about comparing Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd at 130 to Lomachenko. And then Ego's Army really step up to the plate, hit the like buttons, step up to the plate, challenge people on what they say. We can't let these clowns and trolls in the comment section who just recycle stuff, who can't prove none of the shit they saying, we can't let them win. This is a real life war going on outside. And I want all the soldiers, and it's not even just Ego Army soldiers, but just soldiers for boxing, for what's right. You know what I'm saying? We gotta really, it's a war going on, and we gotta strap up because it's like humans versus zombies at this point. You know what I mean? They're trying to brainwash. Like, Loma's good. And see, this is the thing. I'm biased. They say I'm biased or racist. Fine, fuck it. See, I've been doing this too long. I got tough skin. I'm an alpha male. I'm an Aries. I'm headstrong and I'm stubborn. So you guys can say all that. You hate Loma. I'm biased. I'm racist. Fine. If that's what you believe, let's move on. That's what you believe, but you can't prove it because I've never said anything about Ukrainians. I've never said anything racist about white people, or you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing anything like that, but you can't prove it. And it's funny because that's what they point the finger. So Dan Rayfield's not biased for saying and being at Mayweather Corrales, seeing how dominant Floyd was, and never really even giving Floyd his props when he's been a journalist and covered most of Floyd's career and been front row and seen Floyd do this miraculous stuff. Yet we see 11 fights from Lomachenko and he's just immediately sold. You know what I mean? Everyone bringing up the amateur record, that's great. But here's an easy rebuttal to that. If his amateur accomplishments really meant fuck all in boxing, then why did he lose his second pro fight to a guy with double-digit losses? Why? I mean, if all you have to do is be a successful amateur and get a gold medal or two, and that automatically means you don't deal with no pro adversity, then why did he lose to Salido, who just got knocked the fuck out last weekend? It's not making sense. So again, the amateur experience, I'm not downplaying it because I know fighters. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to my dude Ryan Garcia, up and coming. He fights this Saturday on the Lemieux Saunders card. So him being an amateur and fighting Devin Haney 5 times, that's great experience. He beat Devin Haney 3 times and they fought 5 times. Shakur Stevenson, you've seen him just get a knockout last week. He's a silver medalist. Those are all great accomplishments. But what I'm saying is, amateurs, there's differences. Are you getting paid as an amateur? No. Are you wearing headgear? At the time, some of these guys were amateurs. Yes, a lot of them were wearing headgear at those times. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different ball game. And even though Lomachenko has a style that has transitioned well into a pro, we got to judge his pro game. That's what we got to do. We got to judge his pro game because the amateurs, like, put it this way. Here's another point. See, I'm drilling these boys. Hit the like button. No media, they can't fuck with it. Here's another thing. I'm gonna ask y'all. You want to play a game? Because I'm sure we got a lot of diehard Lomachenko supporters. Some people are on the fence. Some people don't like him. Whatever. You know, we have a mixed bag, I'm sure. So check this out. Do y'all want to play the truth game? Y'all want to play the truth game? If y'all want to play the truth game right now, and we'll put a game right on the spot. So like I said, I can back up everything I'm saying. Everybody put a hell yeah. And I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in. I need some more motivation, people. And we'll see how quickly people can type, because I know you guys don't fucking know the answer to this. Lomachenko, listen to me. Everybody's listening. Everybody's listening and cognizant of what's happening. Here's my question to you guys. Lomachenko has 397 fights as an amateur, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, right? So I'm gonna round up because that's closer to 400. So let's say 400. Listen, if you tell me to move on again, you will be blocked. You will get moved on. If you don't, I'm not moving on. See, this is what the thing is. This is the detractors that I'm talking about. You don't come into the stream when everyone else is saying hell yeah and bout it and want to hear it, and then you start disrupting. All right, I'm over this. He keeps putting, I'm over this. Move on. Come on, let's not talk about this. No. See, you don't want the truth to come out. That's why you don't want to talk about it, because you know I'm about to flame that ass up. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you don't want to talk. This is what they do. Same thing what they do with when you talk about racism. It's not that they don't know racism exists in boxing. They just don't want you to talk about it. Thank you to Angel Santos. Get him out of here. Angel Santos just caught him a body. See what I'm talking about? This is what they try to do. I'm ready to play a game and they try to create the. You guys know, if you guys have followed my channel, when I do the Ego Valley videos, listen to what Tupac said. He said, they're like the Judas was to Jesus. They're only here to cause distractions. Tupac was a prophet. They're only here to cause distractions. I was literally in the middle of the sentence, the pop quiz or whatever, and he come up with that. Come on, let's just talk about something. Why? Everyone else is into it. Just ban him again if he got unbanned some other way. I didn't unban him. So once again, let me get back focused on the question and get your typing fingers, because I know y'all don't know the fucking answer. Everybody is marveled about Lomachenko's amateur career, right? We all hear about it, even though he's done good as a pro, but he has a very limited pro career. That's what everyone keeps talking about, right? So since we're all about it when it comes to Loma's amateur career, pop quiz hot shot. Lomachenko, we just established, has 397 fights as an amateur, plus the 6 in the other tournament. I'm gonna round up and say 400. So here we go. Here's the questions. Shout out to Lithuania. Lomachenko has, we rounded up to 400. Name 5 people he fought in the amateurs. Go, right now. Let's see it. Right now, put 5 people he fought in the amateurs. That's a lot of fucking people. 400, name 5 of them. Right now in the comment section. Let's see who knows the answer. Come on, people. Where is everybody at? Where is everyone at? I've seen no answers. He didn't fight Mikey Garcia. Oscar Valdez, that's 1. Okay, Oscar Valdez is 1. That's accurate. So you guys name 1 out of 400. Okay, who else? I don't know. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, Google away. Felix Verdejo, that's 2. That's accurate. Okay, 3 more. No clue. Come on, Google Masters. Who the fuck is Julius Santoa? 6 Cubans. Rest in peace. Who's Julius Santoa? I know you don't see Craig Evans. Who the fuck is, see, I know for a fact you guys are Googling. Jose Ramirez. You guys are clearly Googling now. Chris Evans. Who is that, the dude that played Captain America? Who is that? Who the fuck is Chris Evans? Is that the dude that played Captain America? Steve Rogers? Because, and I know you're Googling too, because when I first said it, it was totally silent. Totally silent. And then all of a sudden, I start hearing the fucking Adam McCarthy. Like, who the fuck is that? Like, out of all the people, so Adam McCarthy clearly never made it. So you just knew Lomachenko fought this random person. Come on, man. So anyway, once again, now we're bragging about Lomachenko's his amateur career, and the proof is in the pudding. We had almost 200 people in here. He has over 400 fights when you include the tournaments, and some of the fights, like Jose Ramirez, if I'm not mistaken, he fought him in that tournament where he had 6 fights, right? And out of 403 fights, y'all couldn't even name 5 people he fucking fought. But this is what we're supposed to all be happy. Like, I mean, props to him for getting a gold medal, because obviously he fought different styles like that. But my whole point is, y'all motherfuckers don't even know who he fought to get there. You don't even know. It was a struggle to get 3 people. It was a struggle. People were talking about he fought Charlie Zelenoff and I don't know, and Chris Evans from Captain America, and I didn't know he fought Captain America. This is what I'm talking about. It's like, I'm pretty sure he probably did fight some good people in there, but my whole point is this: you don't fucking know them. You weren't following his amateur career, which is my point. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking Floyd Mayweather, I don't know who everyone he fought as an amateur. I think he fought Zab and maybe some other people, but as a pro, we have had 20 years of knowledge and history to know who he fought as a pro. New media is burning you people. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, although I do give you credit, like I really feel this, and I'm not hating on Lomachenko. I'm really saying that's great. You got that great. That's an awesome resume. I mean, most guys can't get that. So you're clearly talented. But at the end of the day, you don't even know who he was fighting. You don't. I mean, the 3 people you guys named, I knew he fought. And I can't think of anyone. I wouldn't be able to think of anyone else either. I know he fought Jose Ramirez because he just called him out again and talked about it on his Instagram. I know he fought Oscar Valdez and Valdez lost. And I know he fought Felix Verdejo because he said that was one of his toughest fights. So, once again, case in point, out of 400 plus fights before he turned pro, Out of 400 plus fights before he turned pro, y'all could name 3. And some motherfuckers that were Googling and saying Chris Evans and Shaggy and all these other people that they Googled. You know what I'm saying? That's not that. So you don't really know. You don't know who he's fighting, beating. But we watched his career as a pro. You know what I mean? He's been in America. He's been fighting on HBO and now ESPN. But listen to Cool JC. See, Cool JC. You're already off topic. He says Loma is good. I just told you he was good. I just told you. See, this is what's wrong with a lot of you hypersensitive boxing fans. I've never once said Lomachenko is asshole and trash and he sucks. So you saying he's good, you're just confirming what I just literally said. No, but listen, I don't know what anyone. I can't be held accountable for anyone. I don't know what anyone says, but I know what I say. I have never said the man is not talented. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like anybody, unless you're a hater, you have to admit he has a talent level. You don't get to 396-1 with no talent if you're just some fucking Uber driver. So nobody's saying that. But what my whole thing is, which again, I have tough skin. Like I've been through shit in life that some people couldn't survive. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube comments are the least of anything I've ever been through in life. So I don't get fazed by that. You guys could think people say stuff like, oh, your whole day is ruined. If you really think you, a stranger, can ruin my day by calling me a Lomachenko hater or racist when I know it's not the case, then good luck with that. But my whole thing is this. It's not even, I tell you, it's not even Loma's fault. It's the machine, it's the system, it's everybody that's building him. And listen to what I'm gonna say right now. For everybody listening, just listen, just hear me out. If you have a problem with people saying, man, Lomachenko, he's a talented fighter, but time will reveal where he ends up, then you are the problem. Because you're basically saying right then and there that Lomachenko has some kind of fast track, expedited experience in his pro career where even though it looks like he has all the talent in the world, you're saying you don't have to see it over time. You can anoint the man right here and there. And that's simply not the case. Like, here's an example for you guys. I've had a YouTube channel probably 4.5 years. When I first started, I was working a full-time job, and then later this became my full-time job, right? So I had to work up to that though. You know what I mean? I didn't just immediately start this and it was making enough money where I can do this full-time, right? So it would be ludicrous for me to come through the gates. Let's say I'm working hard as hell. I'm putting together dope videos. It would be ludicrous for anyone to say, this dude is murdering Elie Seckbach, who has been doing this since 1996. He worked with the Lakers and all this type of shit. Shout out to my dude, Elie Seckbach. I'm just using him as an example because we all know Elie Seckbach and we all know his channel is popular. So would anyone give me the credit? You feel me? Would anyone give me credit because I've been around for 6 months and I could be doing the greatest job possible in that 6 months? I could have accomplished things. Let's say within 6 months of YouTube boxing analysis, I got to my first 1 million viral video. And let's say it took Elie Seckbach 5 years to get his first viral video with 1 million. At the end of the day, that's a great personal accomplishment, but you wouldn't be able to compare my channel to a channel that's been running and existing for as long as Elie Seckbach's channel has been existing. And I wouldn't expect people to do that. You know what I'm saying? It would be ridiculous because I've been on YouTube as a platform for a while and I've seen so many boxing channels come and go, especially even this year. You know what I'm saying? There's some boxing channels that right around the Mayweather-Pacquiao time, their channels, they were doing videos. Now they don't even do videos anymore. So once again, it's too premature of a time in 11 fights with the loss for you to even remotely compare anything Floyd's done in 20 years or Ali's done to that. Do you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't expect people. That's what I'm saying. So it's like I live and die by the stuff I'm saying too. I practice what I preach. I wouldn't expect no one to be like in my first 6 months, oh, he's way better than this channel or this, when they've been doing this longer than me at a high level. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And once again, like I said, why would anyone, if you really listen to what I'm saying, hold on. Why would anyone have a problem simply saying and admitting that Lomachenko is good, but you want to see him keep doing it, and you want to see time show how good he is? Because he's been a pro. Listen to me, people. Lomachenko's been a pro since 2013. He hasn't even been a pro that long. You know what I mean? And he's had 11 fights in that period of time. And he's older. He's older than, like I said, Canelo. So, again, why would anyone have a problem with anybody who says, damn, Lomachenko's good. He's making people quit. He beat the shit out of Rigondeaux. He made Walters do something we didn't think Walters was capable of doing. He's good. But hold off on the comparisons to Pacquiao, Roberto Duran, Floyd, Ali. Why would anyone have a problem with that? Somebody please let me know this. You know what I mean? And the only people, listen, the only people that have a problem are a lot of times the people who are racist, or they want to push some kind of agenda. You know what I'm saying? They want to push some kind of agenda and force feed you it. Because instead of just letting him develop and be what he can be, they're telling you he's better than Floyd right now. It's unfair. But I put together this for you guys on my Instagram. Lomachenko, been a pro since 2013. He's 10-1. Muhammad Ali, he's 56-5, and he's been stopped once. Right? That's 61 fucking fights, if my math is right. Floyd Mayweather, 19-20 years in the sport. He's 15-0, 5-division weight champion. So once again, if you're gonna compare him to people like this, who did Ali fight? Shavers, knocked out George Foreman, fought Frazier. You know what I'm saying? Who's his George Foreman? Listen to me, people. Who is his Foreman that was like denting heavy bags, and he was supposed to be like the guy that was really just supposed to knock Lomachenko the fuck out? Nicholas Walters? Are we really gonna compare? We're gonna compare who Nicholas Walters was on a year layoff and coming off a draw to Jason Sosa, to George Foreman? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Right? So again, this is not, see, the only reason, the only reason why people would think like I'm nitpicking Lomachenko's resume is because they're stacking it up so high to the point where it's like, I got to bring it back down to reality. That's all this is. This has nothing to do with I hate Lomachenko or don't want to see him succeed. But if you say, listen, I'm going to give you, see, y'all know I'm the king of analogies. You know I'm the king of analogies. If you put something on and you're like, okay, let's say, what's everybody's favorite food? Just a couple quick, what's a quick meal that's your favorite food? Main dish, main course. Just somebody put it in the comment section for the sake of this analogy. Pizza. Okay, great. We're using pizza. No more foods. Okay. So let's say I'm in Cali and y'all came out here and I'm like, yo, we got this pizza place. Fucking forget about it. This fucking pizzeria, it's the best pizza you'll ever have. And right, and I'm telling you, this pizza, from the pepperoni to the mozzarella, the cheese, is Montebello tutti frutti. And I'm just like, el dente. I'm telling you how great this pizza is, right? I'm telling you everything. The sauce, the customer service, everything is 5-star, right? And let's say I give you the address. You go to the pizza place. The pizza's good. But at the end of the day, you went there once and the pizza's good, but does it live up to how good I made it sound right now? You know what I'm saying? When you just ate that pizza, the way I talked it up, did it live up to that expectation? And that's what Lomachenko is facing. Again, this is not his fault. This is the machine. This is the system. So it's not about Lomachenko not being skilled, not that he's not being good, but if you have ESPN, who's an influential big box, and they're saying Lomachenko could beat Floyd at one of his best divisions, and he accomplished things at those divisions, then that's going to make me bring it back down to reality because you said that. Now, if you left Floyd's name out of it, then no one would even be talking about that. No one, but that's what I'm saying. You tell me that this man, I just showed you, Muhammad Ali had 56 fights, 5 losses, 1 loss. Or 5 losses, 1 knockout loss. You comparing him to a man with 61 fights that's an icon, then that's something different. And it's that simple. That's something different. Don't, let's say I won a couple karate tournaments. Would you say I'm the next Bruce Lee or I'm better than Bruce Lee? Like, really? I won 5 tournaments in a row, or whatever, Lomachenko's record. Let's say I won 10-1. Am I the next fucking Bruce Lee off of that? You know what I'm saying? When Bruce Lee has accomplished so much more than me? Like, no, you wouldn't say that. But that's what they're doing with Lomachenko. And that's the problem. And see, that's what happens when someone else overtalks and oversells and tries to push the product and like force feed the public, and then people like me or new media come around and say, he's good, but I can't compare him to Floyd yet. I can't compare him to Ali yet. Now I'm the bad guy. I'm the hater. So you had no problem with ESPN making that comment, talking about a retired man and a dead man in Muhammad Ali, Bob Arum, you know what I mean, that he used to work with. You don't have a problem with that. You have a problem with me bringing this back down to reality. And once again, I'm killing you boys. Why, to this day, and I'm a challenge, we'll do another challenge right now. I got my computer right here. Name one person that has been interviewed that has co-signed Dan Rayfield's tweet. That's a respected boxer or boxing trainer. Tell me how to get to it, and I'll pull it up right now. Who? Name somebody that co-signed, that Fight Hype or whoever interviewed that said Dan Rayfield's absolutely right. Lomachenko would give Floyd hell. He might even kick his ass and beat him. Name the person's account. I'll pull it up right now because I'm the hater. We've already established that. I'm the hater. I'm the racist. New media sucks and a bunch of lies. Okay, cool. So you tell me how to get there, because I could tell you dope fighters, former fighters, Robert Garcia, 2-time former champion that fought in those divisions. Mikey Garcia, his brother, an active light heavyweight champion that moved up to 40 and just fought Broner. He's had a very good year. They totally disagree with it. Go watch the Fight Hype interview. Robert Garcia, he says, no, fuck no, fuck no. Chico Corrales, he said, rest in peace, Diego Corrales. Put Diego Corrales in there with Miguel Berchelt. And he was like, I think I would beat Berchelt back when I was active. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford was like, y'all gotta stop with that stupid talk. Floyd was a beast. You know what I mean? I just posted it, and Badu Jack and all these other fighters were liking it when Terrence Crawford said that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of co-signing. So once again, this is what they try to do. This is what old media tries to do. Oh, everybody, he's entitled. Dan Rayfield, he's entitled to his opinion. That's fine. He's entitled to his opinion, as am I, as are you guys. But this is the thing. Like Jay-Z said, we don't believe you. You need more people. So okay, if we're going to just play the most generic, cliche proverb, everybody's entitled to an opinion, then, okay, my opinion is Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez can move up to 160 and knock Gennady Golovkin out. What would you guys say about my level of boxing knowledge? That's what I feel. I think Chocolatito can move up to 160 and knock Golovkin out. What would you guys say to me? What, I mean, if everyone has an opinion. That's my opinion. That's my opinion, right? You'd be like, no, you sound fucking stupid. You don't know exactly. Those are the comments I would get. And obviously I used a super extreme example, but I mean that's the thing. No, who's co-signing the stuff he's saying? Who's co-signing it? Because I can tell you people who are denouncing it. That's what I'm talking about. And the Garcias, they just said it. I'll show you how to get to it if you want. It's on Fight Hype. They said he beat up a lot of little guys, so they might quit and stuff. Mikey Garcia specifically said, if you fight certain people, then they might quit. But he sees, in his opinion, little flaws that Lomachenko does. But based on his athleticism or maybe them being smaller, he's able to capitalize off that. You know what I'm saying? And see, this is the thing. Shout out to Top Rank for this. Listen to me. Shout out to Top Rank for this. One thing Top Rank is extremely good at is managing talent and matchmaking, because they've been in the business since 60s or 70s or whatever. So they're really good at that. They've done it with Pacquiao's career. You know what I mean? Done it with Donaire's career. Because Donaire was undefeated for 11 years, finally fights Rigondeaux, and then all of a sudden that's the style that just easily beat his ass. Or not easily, but kind of easily. And that's what Top Rank does. Like Lomachenko, again, for a short period of time, he's done his thing. He definitely has. But if you look at it, okay, here, let's go. You want to? Do y'all want me to go in? We go really. I'm gonna show you the Top Rank, how they kind of match make and situations. And I want someone. I want someone to prove my facts wrong, right? We'll look at his. I'll pull up his box rec right now, and we can go through it. Cause it's not like he have a lot of fights. You know what I'm saying? How long can it take? He got 10 fights. Y'all want me to go in? Say. Y'all want me to go in? Excuse me. Dan Rayfield did not pick Conor to beat Floyd. Is that real? If y'all want me to go in and say hell yeah and get them likes up, hit the like button, smash the like button, and we can go in. We can talk about. See, and this is what I'm talking about. That the new generation, the hypersensitive fans, if you bring up facts, it's hate. So we're gonna go through it one by one, and anybody that says I'm hating, then denounce the fact. Show how there's a bias in the fact, or show the racism in me showing you the facts. Like that's a fair, to me, that's a fair fucking game. I'm showing you factual information. I'm showing you, because this is the thing, that's how I know it's not coming from a place of hate for me, because if I wanted to hate, I would just start making up shit about him. You know what I'm saying? Or stuff I couldn't prove. I wouldn't show you the actual fact. Let's get it. Y'all ready? Okay, his first fight, Jose Ramirez, he knocked him out. Solid, you know what I mean, 25-3, not a terrible record, especially for someone on their pro fight. Normally you see guys fight worse people, right? That's cool. Second pro fight, challenge for a title, we know what happened, he lost. Third pro fight, he bounced back nicely, beat Gary Russell. Now, first, you can say I'm making excuses. Name 2 people Gary Russell fought before Vasyl Lomachenko that you thought were impressive wins for Gary Russell. Name 2 wins. Right now, see, I don't want to hear the crickets now. Where are the crickets? And don't tell me Johnny Gonzalez, because that was after. Don't tell me about Oscar Escandón, because that was after. So name 2 people. That's not that much, because Gary Russell was 24-0. So out of 24 fights, name 2 people that you rated Gary Russell based on that performance. Like you were like, man, he beat that dude. Okay, he's nice with it. Ali Oxenfree. See, I'm the hater. Someone said Keith Sweat. No bad. Listen, this is how new media will take over. I promise you. I told you it was going to establish a new government, because again, I don't know how many dislikes we got, all of that dislikes, all the people that disagree. You have the opportunity right now. We can hot seat it right now. You guys are probably on Google trying to find out who Gary Russell fought. So you know so much. Tell me 2 wins, because that was perceived as a great win. Tell me 2 wins that you have. Fuck it, name 1. Name 1 Gary Russell win that he had prior, in his 24 fights, that he had prior to Lomachenko, where you're like, damn. And don't get me wrong, he has some impressive knockout performances, but I'm talking about who was the person. Who is the person that he fought? Like, that you rate him off of that. Like, if someone were to say, listen, if someone were to say Floyd Mayweather, name one performance where you're like, I rate Floyd off of that. You could say Canelo, De La Hoya, Cotto, Diego Corrales. You know what I'm saying? You could think, if you said Pacquiao, he beat Marco Antonio Barrera, stopped him, Eric Morales. I could tell you wins why, like, that I rate Pacquiao off of those sole wins. Marquez, exactly. Maidana. So what was Gary Russell's win? That's all. No amateur stuff. What was his pro win in 24 fights? One person. Let's get back to the subject. Name one person Gary Russell fought. So again, it's impressive that Lomachenko can beat a majority decision 12-rounder against Gary Russell, because I do think he's nice with it, but he hadn't proven anything. Who is Bill Curtin? It's about to be curtains for you, because if y'all keep throwing these random names that nobody knows, who the fuck is Bill Curtin? Who is that? Like, even Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn, in 17 fights or whatever, he has Pacquiao on his fucking resume. I don't know how many fights he has. He has like 16, 17 fights. He can say, I beat Randall Bailey, but he can now say, I beat Pacquiao, right? So in Gary Russell's 24 fights, name one person that when he, Juan Ruiz is decent, okay? I was waiting for somebody. Okay, Juan Ruiz. See, now you motherfuckers just going on BoxRec, seeing who he fought. So, Juan Ruiz is decent, and he has a record of 23-12. Let's see where he's at today. This is Mr. Decent. This is his record currently. At least he's tough. The motherfucker don't get stopped. I give him that. He only got stopped once in 21 fights. But even when Gary Russell fought him, he was 24-12. So how is he decent? What's so decent about that? Like, you rated Gary Russell as a world beater because he beat someone that was 24-12, and now he's like 24-22. Really? Okay. And I'm biased. I'm the biased guy. Okay. Funny how that works. Y'all want to keep going, or should I just stop? Because I feel like I'm ethering you. So again, and see, I'm fair. I'm not saying that Gary Russell Jr., so no one walks around and say, oh, he's hating on the Gary Russell. I still think it's a good win, because Gary Russell, I do rate him, and we've seen how good he's become after that. But at the time, he didn't really fight nobody. He hadn't really fought nobody. So it was really, even though it was Lomachenko's third fight, it was also a step up for fucking Gary Russell. And it just so happens that Lomachenko has had a style. You could fast track him because he has so many amateur fights, and he might be older than Gary Russell. I don't know. He might be older. You know what I mean? Should we continue? Because y'all keep bringing up, like, the amateurs. We already discussed that. That's straight separate than your pro. Let's keep going. Who the fuck is this? Who is that? Soraya Tatakun. 51-1, but who is he? You want to see his resume? See who he's fighting? Okay, he's since lost a couple more times. Tell me if you recognize any of these names. So that's where he fought Lomachenko, right? Tell me if you notice any of these people. Chris John. I know Chris John, he fought Marquez. Oh, wait, he lost to him. Okay, so the one name I've noticed on his resume, he lost to. Who the fuck is Arif Bladder? He got a bladder infection. Do y'all know any? So he had a good record, but against who? Amortino. Who the fuck is this? All right, we got another hot seat. This is them. Y'all playing games. So he said ego mad. I'm not mad. Why do you think I'm mad? We're going over a resume. So why am I mad? See, I was waiting to catch a body. So you want to disrupt the stream. Now you're in the hot seat. and that's 2 first last. Why are you saying I'm mad? Because I'm going over facts? Like, what is there to be mad at? I'm proving my points. No one's roasting me. Nobody ethered me. You can hit the dislike button and say I'm biased and all this stuff, but no one's disproved me. So what do I be mad at? Well, since he's taking too long, I guess I'll do 2 hot seats at once. Highview said he beat Russell. Okay, who had Russell beat? Okay, okay, Highview's in the hot seat too. I'll take on 2 people because you guys are typing too slow. Who did name one person Gary Russell beat when Lomachenko fought him that impressed you, Highview? We just went over this. So my question to you, I'll repeat it. At the time Lomachenko fought Gary Russell, who did he beat that impressed you? Who did Gary Russell beat before Lomachenko fight that impressed you, where you're like, I could rate Gary Russell as he'll definitely be a champion based off of this performance? Come on, Highview, where you at? I'll catch 2 bodies at once. Hey, Maz, help me remember these names. Oh, okay. So hold on. His response says, doesn't matter. It was an even matchup. So why doesn't it matter? So it doesn't matter who you fought? That's what you're telling me. It doesn't matter who you fought and who you beat. It was okay, so why would you say it's an even matchup if Gary Russell didn't have 2 Olympic gold medals and he had 24 fights, more than Lomachenko, but you haven't told me anyone that you were impressed with him beating, and Lomachenko has 403 amateur fights and 2 Olympic gold medals. So how is it an even match if Gary Russell as an amateur didn't accomplish what Lomachenko had, right? And as a pro, you can't tell me one person that impressed you, but you said it doesn't matter. Okay, so now he's changing the subject. He said Russell versus Loma was a competitive fight. Who did Russell beat prior to Lomachenko where you would say, I rate this guy? Like, it's not that hard. For example, let's say someone wanted to take away credit for Floyd Mayweather fighting Canelo, and they said, name one person Canelo has beaten before he fought Floyd. I would say Carlos Baldomir, Shane Mosley, Josecito Lopez, Ryan Rose, Matthew Hatton, Cotto's brother, Jose Miguel Cotto, and of course I would say Austin Trout. Boom. So I can answer my own question with other fighters. Now you answer it with Gary Russell. I see why they call you Highview. We about to drop you off the Highview. Hope you got a parachute. He said he can't name one person that Gary Russell fought, but he said it was an even fight, and he said it doesn't matter. People don't want to fight Russell, but the skills are there. What are you talking about? Do you guys see when I catch bodies? Is this a body? Well, who doesn't want to fight Gary Russell? Oscar Escandón just fought him. That weak ass Patrick Hyland fought him. What are you talking about? Who doesn't want to fight Gary Russell? Dancing around the subject. Hey, if I catch the body, y'all can let me know, but I don't see that happening. Okay, so my question to you, I'm just gonna keep burying you. Hold on. He said none of the champions. Now you're just gasping for air at this point. So how are you gonna say the Lomachenko Russell fight was even, but it doesn't matter who he fought leading up to the fight? Explain the logic of that. So it doesn't matter who you fought or who you beat. It's just an even fight because you said so. This is what I'm talking about, people. New media versus that other shit. It's not that they don't agree with me. It's that they don't want to agree with me. Now, okay, bro, we're gonna vote because you're drowning. His response was, so you're saying Gary Russell is garbage. Everybody that heard this live stream, when did I ever say Gary Russell was garbage? Did anyone hear me say Gary Russell is garbage? Did anyone hear me say that? And even in the stream, I said I love Gary Russell Jr., but at the time he fought Lomachenko, he hadn't really had any significant wins. So let's vote. High View, he clearly. Hold on. Enrique, you got next. Let's vote on High View. I got another one. We getting bodies today. I promise you my body count, because I know what sensitive subjects do. Let's vote. High View, did he survive the hot seat? Be honest. And if you're not honest, then you in the hot seat, most likely next. All right, moderator, get High View out of here. Drop him off the balcony. Suge Knight, Vanilla Ice him. We got body counts tonight. See, again, it's not that they disagree, because every time, if you disagreed, you should be able to prove to the people what you disagree. Oh, I don't know who Gary Russell fought, but it was an even fight. High View. By View, that's your new name. Now we got another one. Back to back. See, I'm willing to take on challengers. I got an O and I'm not afraid to let it go. All right, Enrique Hernandez. He said that I'm implying that Gary Russell is garbage. So how did I imply that Gary Russell is garbage? By simply stating at the time he fought Vasil Lomachenko that he hadn't really had any marquee wins, any marquee names. He didn't have any person that stood out. How is that saying he's garbage and that he will never amount to anything? So Byview's already out of here. Now we got Enrique. So you said I implied that. How is that implied? So for me stating a fact that, or what I perceive as a fact that you still haven't rebutted and explained how I'm wrong. You said I was calling Gary Russell garbage some kind of way. Everybody has a starting point. I'm just saying at the time you fought Lomachenko, I didn't remember any significant names. Where's Enrique at, man? The show must go on. He responded? Hold on. No, you don't. See, no, he didn't respond. He responded with a question. He said, what are you trying to prove by criticizing his opponent? You don't, how do you answer a question with a question? I asked you a question. Yo, Kareem, you about to be out of here. Listen, if anybody doesn't want to be here, they don't have to be here. So if you guys keep telling me to switch the subject or stop arguing with casuals and all this other stuff, you will be removed because you're causing a disruption. If you don't want to listen to it, then you don't have to be here. Moderators, if you see people and if they put 2 or more comments where they're like, let's switch subjects and move on, because that's disrupting the flow. And especially when I have a hot seat, we got to catch these bodies. So if you see that, get them. But anyway, Enrique's ducking the question. He didn't answer my question, but said, hey, what are you trying to prove by criticizing his opponents? No, I'm asking you a question. So how do you get to ask your question? If you survive my question, I'll answer anything that you have to ask me, if you survive. So once again, you said I'm implying that Gary Russell sucks or he's garbage or whatever. So explain that to the people. How did I ever say he was garbage? I just said at the moment he fought Lomachenko, he hadn't really proven much. He actually has proven more after the Lomachenko loss, because he at least went 12 with Loma, and then he later became a champion. He wasn't a champion when Lomachenko fought him. Facts. So although I give Lomachenko credit for fighting him in the 3rd fight, he had a lot of experience that he carried. He might have even been older than Russell. So anyway, I'm waiting. So how did I say Gary Russell is trash or whatever you're trying to allude to? See, look, someone put ear emojis. They're waiting. They want me to eat you. Pause. Where the boy Enrique at? Where the boy Enrique? We about to call you Enrique, because you sounded real weak, eh? Where Enrique, man? See, why they always do this? He gonna do one of them videos like that, Keaton Jones. Ego's a bully. He put me in a hot seat. Why do you bully people? Come on, Keaton Jones, Enrique, whoever you are, come on, man. Oh my gosh. Enrique, now he says, you got me. What does that mean? That's throwing in the towel. Because I never said Gary Russell was garbage. See, once again, listen, people. New media, because they try to, you know what? Let Enrique, whoever, don't block him, just ban him. Because at least he surrendered, threw in the towel. So one of my mods, just put him on timeout. I'll give him a timeout so he can come back for that. Because at least that was noble. He said, hey, I threw in the towel. That's cool. This is good boxing talk. You know what? We need to start adding that as an option. If they bow down, see, because I ain't no bully. Like Pac said, I ain't just gonna beat nobody up because the crowd want to see it. Like, I'm not gonna. If they want to wave the white flag, maybe we should do that. The timeout, so they can come back. If they want to throw. But the people who are persistent or too ridiculous, they're getting blocked. They're getting blocked. No matter what. But once again, this is what I'm talking about with new media, with what I'm trying to do with this boxing game. Every time you say facts, the hypersensitive people, they all of a sudden, it's not that they're disproving you or saying that you're wrong. They keep telling you that you're wrong. And they keep telling you, oh, you're the Loma hater. So who has proven me to be the Loma hater? By calling me out on my bullshit and saying, you said this about Loma, and that's not fact. You said Loma had 403 fights as an amateur, and I just looked it up, and that's not true. Nobody is doing that. They're just saying I'm wrong, hitting the dislike button, saying this and that, but they're not disproving it. I said name one fighter Gary Russell beat prior to Lomachenko where you would say, wow, that's a bad, like, okay, Errol Spence Jr., he has that now. You could, if I said name one person that Errol Spence has beat where you could be like, damn, he's dope, you could say Kell Brook, right? And he had about as many fights as Gary Russell. He probably has like 25 fights. Gary Russell had 24 fights. You know what I mean? Y'all want to keep going? Yeah, hit that like button, man. Smash that like button, man, for the new media. All right. We got another dumbass hot seat. This is going to be easy. His name is Expose the Secret Societies. He said, good job telling us that you ban those who disagree in the hot seat. Sounds like you're picking and choosing your fan base. Okay, so anybody that has followed the channel, they know that's not the case. Whether we do things different here and or orthodox here, that's not the case. So please explain why you think that if someone just disagrees, that automatically they get blocked. That's not the case at all. So please explain to us. No one else is perceiving it like that. No one else is perceiving it like that. And actually, some of these motherfuckers be begging for the hot seat. Listen, Expose the Secret Society. I don't know if you're new here, but his reply said, you just said if we bow down, you won't ban us. Meaning, if you're in the hot seat and you're arguing your point and you're getting bodied with your point and you're not winning the debate, if you bow down and say, hey, because most people don't bow down anyway. Most people don't bow down at all. They just keep trying to argue their point, and then we go to vote. I don't vote the people off. The people in the stream vote you off. Just like a Survivor or one of them American Idols where people call in. I'm not voting the people off. The fans are, and they hear both sides of the argument. So it's completely fair. And even if you're new, you should probably sit around long enough so you could get the gist of it before you start calling stuff out. I never said, if you don't agree with me, you gotta bow down. And if you don't, it's the people who say radical stuff and then they get called out on their bullshit. And then when it comes time to speak to it, they have no actual factual points, period. All right, you getting blocked. I'm not arguing with. Yeah, we picking our fan base. See, some things I just don't have. I was just gonna try to school him and let him know how it works. But he's like, so majority rules, majority's not always. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I don't even have to explain myself. Enjoy another stream. Like I don't even have the patience to, because everyone else wants to talk boxing. I'm not trying to just sit and talk to one person leaving paragraphs of nonsense. Listen. And shout out to whoever called him out, because he was an irritant to the group. But anyway, y'all want to keep going, or y'all get it? Like, I don't know who this is. That was like Stay Busy fight. I don't know who this is. 25-2-3. Who is this? 25-4. You know what I mean? Not horrible. Now, he moved up in weight and fought Roman Martinez. Right? 29-2-3. Who wants to battle Roman Martinez? Now, it was a great performance by Lomachenko. Who wants to battle Roman Martinez with me in the hot seat? No one slept Roman like that. I agree with that. That's fair. But to me, when I look at that win, like, I didn't see a super chat. Roman Martinez, and this is, once again, I'm just giving you the history. Roman Martinez fought Orlando Salido twice, and in the second one, it was like a split draw. It was on the Mayweather-Maidana undercard. See how I know this stuff off the top of my head? It was on the, I think, a Mayweather-Maidana undercard. Rocky Martinez fought Salido, and then he retained his belt by Salido via a draw, just like allegedly the draw with the Triple G Canelo situation. So he held onto his belt. But if you go back and you watch that video, thank you for blocking him again. All right, we got another hot seat. Cause someone else would, don't block Mario. None of my mods block Mario. I got him. He says you are full of ego, sir. Okay, why am I full of ego? What's his name? Mario Alberto. How am I full of ego? What did I do that was full of ego? We're waiting. You're in the hot seat. Everybody get your popcorn. What was full of ego? Because we're having boxing conversation, and the people that disagree have an opportunity to handle it like gladiator. I'm not going to fist fight boxing fans. So this is what we've established, the hot seat, where we could debate our points. We disagree, we have a verbal jousting based on facts, based on stuff you could research, based on stuff you could prove, and may the best man or woman or whatever you guys are win, period. So what's full of ego? And please get this activated so we can move on, the rest of us. You won't make it, but everyone else will. See, he said then they take way too long to respond. Exactly. See, this is why people get called out, because it's easy to put the initial comment. Yeah, you're biased. Okay, why? Then they just go ghost. All right, he responded. Everything you say in the way is the only way. I don't disagree with what you say, but I'm open to other people's opinion. What are you talking about? I'm open to other people's opinion too. But if you're in the hot seat and I say, hey, my question to you, we can exchange questions, but you have to answer my question first. Name Gary Russell's best win before he fought Lomachenko, and you can't answer that, but you were arguing that that was the best win ever, then that's where we have a problem. So what do you mean I can't accept? I'm waiting for these guys to actually give me their opinion. Damn, Mario, that was the best. That was what you came with. And then on top of that, in your statement, you said, I agree with you. So what are you really arguing for? I really don't get it. He literally said everything you say in the way is the only way. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I'm open to other people's opinion. First of all, prove that I'm not open to anyone else's opinion. And two, you just said you agree with me. So it's like, you're like that dude from the movie Split. Like you have split personalities or something. I'm not talking about that, sir. All I'm saying is that you are full of ego. It's just an observation. All right, let's vote. Did he prove that I was full of ego? And did he prove that I'm not willing to listen to anyone's opinion when I'm giving you the platform? Once you get called on the hot seat, I give you the opportunity to respond. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Mr. Gloss. He blocked him hella quick. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, it's always me. If I say something about Lomachenko, I'm full of ego and my way or the highway. That's what he's basically saying. Shout out to the super chat. Black and Bearded $5 super chat. It said the previous super chat asked Loma versus Robert Easter Jr. if it's a competitive fight. Answer after the hot seat. Yeah, man. Listen. Yes, I think any of the champions that were. I don't know about Terry Flanagan if he has a belt. But Loma versus Mikey Garcia, Robert Easter, or Jorge Linares, they're all competitive fights. Because moving up 5 pounds, you're not going to guarantee make everyone quit. That's it. Listen, I've watched boxing for quite some time, and I've covered it for a decent amount of time. Not as long as like ESPN or Teddy Atlas or something, but put it this way, there's brute force, like pretty good power guys and knockout artists like Triple G. Triple G. Okay, who hits harder, Triple G or Lomachenko? Who, like, one punch per their division, obviously. Now I'm not comparing divisional gaps. I'm saying Lomachenko's power in his current division or Triple G's power in his division. Who has more? Bow! I hit you and you're scrambled. You see how people are getting mad at me? Come on, Triple G, of course. My point exactly. And what happened his last 2 fights? Did he knock him out, or did it go the distance? What happened Triple G's last fights? What happened Triple G's last fight? Last 2. Nobody knows? Distance. Thank you. My point exactly. So that's what I'm saying. If you really think about the boxing, and I understand breaking guys like Floyd and probably Rigondeaux and Lomachenko, when they fought in their divisions and stuff, they can break people down psychologically and fucks you up. But there's guys who physically, listen, if you take a physical, I'm not saying which one is worse because they're both fucked up. Some people, it depends on the individual. Some people can recover better. Like Pacquiao, all of his knockout losses, he's recovered from pretty well. You know what I mean? But after the Mayweather psychological loss, he seemed to take that harder than the other loss. When he lost to Bradley, that was harder for him to accept. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But when he got knocked the fuck out, he came back and beat Brandon Rios. So my whole thing is, it just depends on the person. What would affect your career more if you took a physical, like single shot knockout loss, or a psychological loss. I mean, they both could be bad. But the thing is, when you get physically dealt with, like, let's say what a Triple G would do to you, your body, certain things could shut down. Like where you fit, like if Triple G hits you right on the chin and it comes down with it, your legs might not cooperate. You know what I'm saying? And that's something you physically cannot control, because like, remember when Jay Leon Love got knocked down and he was on the ground and his leg was twitching? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You physically can't control it. So I understand how bad a psychological, like the Rigondeaux quitting and that type of beatdown could be. But at the same time, if power punchers aren't even knocking everybody out, and when they stepped up in competition, like it's the same. Listen to me, people, and I'm telling you, this is. I feel like Lomachenko and Golovkin, the way they're pushed, their stories are very synonymous. Golovkin has a great amateur pedigree, 300 plus fights, silver medalist. Lomachenko has a great amateur pedigree, 2 gold medals, Olympians. They're both late in their careers, like later. They're older than Shakur Stevenson, Mick Connellan. You know what I mean? They're not, because they stayed amateur so long, right? But their stories are synonymous for this. How does Triple G, somebody answer this, how does Golovkin knock out 23 fucking people in a row? 23 in a row, no breaks. No, it's not like the 17th person survived. He knocked out 23 people in a row Yet when he fights Daniel Jacobs, a guy who's been knocked out, right, by Dimitri Pirog, and Canelo, a guy who really didn't have that much experience at 160, he doesn't knock them out. Somebody explain why that occurred, please. And I hope we have some boxing fans in here. Someone give me your best guess of how you can knock out 23 people and all of a sudden it stopped with your last. Shout out to Campani. He said because he stepped up. I don't think it's because he's fading. I don't. And this is since people are like, oh, you don't listen to anyone's opinion. Tevin said because he's fading. I don't agree with that, because I just went to his fight at Dominic Wade and he beat the shit out of Dominic Wade in 2 rounds. So if you put another person who's on the level of Dominic Wade, if you put him in there with Golovkin, it would have been the same result in September. So if you put, let's say Andy Lee. If Andy Lee fought Golovkin in September instead of Canelo, I really think Andy Lee would probably get knocked out, because he fought on Golovkin Jacobs undercard and he didn't look that great. So it's not that he's old, and that's what they want you to believe, because they sit up here and built him up to be this machine. So now it has to be something. Floyd and Pacquiao are older than Golovkin, and their performances weren't always like when Pacquiao was 35. His performances weren't looking like that. You know what I'm saying? Floyd fought Canelo at age 36, and Canelo was 23, and he dog walked Canelo. So that's oh, he was old. That's an excuse, because he wasn't really even taking much wear and tear. I mean, stylistically, training camps and stuff, but no one was beating the shit out of him and knocking him down and even hurting him. Who hurt Golovkin prior to Kell Brook? Who, name one person you would say hurt Golovkin real good? I think Curtis Stevens might have hurt him a little bit, but who? It's not like he was taking major beatdowns. Kasim Uma, he did hurt him, but that was like 2008 or some shit. Shout out to the Real Reasons. Shout out to the real, I said reasons, but shout out to the real boxing fans, because I've seen a lot of you guys, in my opinion, got the correct answer. The reason Golovkin 23 knockouts magically stopped his last 2 fights is because he was against, oh my God. See, every time I try to do a stream, I gotta body somebody. Dumantas Sprides, he says, are you kidding me? Curtis Stevens hurt Triple G? Yes, and Canelo did too. Come get your hot seat. Come get your hot seat. See, this is what I'm talking about. Some of y'all don't study boxing. You don't study boxing at all. I could tell. It's like, okay, Curtis Stevens, did I say he was like on Queer Street or knocked out or anything like that? No, I didn't say that. People, oh, but Stevens' face was like, all that's true. But Canelo hurt. Listen, I guess I'll catch bodies all day, man. Okay, you're gonna get an argument in the hot seat. He said, I need some arguments on that. Triple G got fucking rocked and pushed back by Curtis Stevens. Fact. You know what I'm saying? Again, see, this is the thing. This is like, some of you guys don't study boxing. That's how I know this shit. But once again, I gotta slow up the whole stream, catching another body, proving somebody wrong. And it's just, you don't believe it because you probably believe in HBO and their commentary and everything they say, right? That's why you don't believe it. Oh, what? What do you mean Curtis Stevens hurt him? Well, that's bullshit. Okay. And see, this is the thing. There's different severities of being hurt. Like, am I saying he was like almost about to be out for the count? No. And the thing is, Triple G got a fucking chin. So it's a, what's it called? He has a good poker face. Y'all want me to catch a body and prove that Curtis Stevens rocked Triple G? You're in the hot seat, my friend. See, I have to keep stopping this stream. No, they want the body, so whoever said move on, oh well. And I can't play the clip because it's HBO shit. Hold on. Like I said, some of y'all you watch boxing, but you don't study boxing. And it's funny because I made a video about what Triple G does well and all this. Because I used to do different stuff on the channel.
Curtis Stevens did better than a lot of people gave him credit. He actually started backing up Triple G with simple combination and letting his hands go. Look at him. He's in the...
Watch. I broke down this whole thing. Okay, look. See, I can't show you the clip, like the actual footage, so I'm going to show you this. Like,
and he backs up Triple G, lands a punch.
Now, go watch that on HBO Greatest Hits.
Lands a right. Triple G backs up. Look at Triple G's feet right now. Backing up. Takes another step back because Curtis Stevens packs a punch, and Triple G felt that. And simple 1-2s. He throws a left. Then he tries to follow up with the right, which Triple G sees and avoids that particular punch. But then watch, he throws a left.
Look at that. Look, Curtis Stevens. See, Curtis, I'm telling you, Triple G's got a fucking man-style chin.
And catches him. Again, Curtis Stevens has power.
And Curtis Stevens is known for his left hook. That's his best. That's like probably his best punch. So you know that shit hurt.
And look at Triple G's facial
Look at his fucking face. Yeah, no, guys, what the fuck?
expression.
Look at his face. He just got a chin. That's why
You see his face like, oh shit, okay, he caught me. But again, Triple G has a good...
Look. Does he look happy with eating that punch? Yeah, no, what the fuck?
Chin, look at that face. He's like, oh, you... Nah, I know, good boy, nice punch. Like, he looks pissed that he was getting...
Look, if you get hit so hard, you feel me? You get hit so hard, your face instantly gets serious like that. He was hurt. Now, again, we can debate on how, I'm not saying he was out of this world hurt, but you can see his fucking face that he took that punch serious. And this is from a notable puncher at middleweight.
Caught with that. Mr. Defense. Again, Curtis Stevens lets his hands go a bit more. Backs up Triple G. This is what you have to do to successfully beat Triple G.
Tevin, you sound dumb as fuck.
Facial expression tightening up. He's getting pushed back by Curtis Stevens. Again, a guy with some power, with some pop. Pushes him back. Now, this is where it gets tricky. If you are unable to success...
So... That's just with slides. Y'all can go watch the actual fight. I'm sure it's on YouTube or whatever. Tevin Farmer, whoever Tevin in this in this chat sounds stupid. And you can always tell who knows boxing. He said Triple G wasn't hurt. He was mad. Why the fuck would he be mad? What would he be mad at? If you got what would he be mad at? Like, I don't understand that. What would make him mad if he wasn't hurt? Like, so he just got mad. He left the oven on at home, so he's just like, hey, who was he mad at then, Tevin? Now listen to the guy who's in the hot seat, DeMontis, backing out the blocks. He said, man, it's boxing. Triple G style is to knock out his opponent quick, and it makes him get caught by some shots, but he knows he has a great chin. It's nowhere near hurting him. So now you're copping the plea. What do you guys think? Y'all want to vote? Did Triple G look like he was rocked from that point, from that punch? You feel what somewhat? So should we keep going? Should we keep going? And I did that with pictures. Go watch the tape, because I'm not going to play all this copyrighted shit on my... He got caught. And then, and see, the guy, listen, The guy's comment proves what I'm saying. The guy's comment says, Triple G's style is to be offensive and get his guy out of here. You're right. So that's why he gets hit. And he got hit by a big puncher in Curtis Stevens. And he got stunned from it. Again, look, he got stunned. Let's vote. People are saying he got stunned, he got dazed. I never said he was on Queer Street, he pissed his pants, or he's about to get knocked out, but he was clearly buzzed. You could look at his facial expression and tell he didn't like that left hook. So everybody, put your L's up if you got that L. Look, everyone's saying he got stunned or buzzed, which you don't get stunned or buzzed if you're not hurt. Does that even make sense? How? So if you're fighting Paulie Malignaggi, he's gonna stun you. You know what I'm saying? When did Broner get stunned by Paulie Malignaggi? Moderator, get him out of here. The people have voted. So you guys are proving my point. All the people that just said he got stunned, he got hurt, he got buzzed. When did Amir Khan stun Canelo? I'll wait. He was winning some rounds, but when did Amir Khan stun Canelo? I want to know that. When did Conor McGregor stun Floyd Mayweather? Where he was just like, oh shit. Yo, did any of my mods get him out of there? Whatever his name is. All right. Okay, Tevin, you don't deserve to be in here. Let's vote on Tevin too. He says that punch was off guard. Obviously Curtis Stevens got power, which caught Triple G off guard. He said he was stunned, yes, hurt, no. Does that make sense to anybody? Does Tevin make sense? So you said you admit that Triple G was off guard. You admit that he got caught with some good shit. And you said he was stunned, yes, but he's hurt, no. So again, when did Amir Khan, out of all those punches Amir Khan hit Canelo with, when did Canelo look like he was just like, oh shit, like that? When did Canelo look stunned from Amir Khan? That's just a comparable issue. Like, that's what I'm saying with these radical fans. They're so radical that a fight that Triple G won and had Curtis Stevens on the ground like, woo, and doing all that, they can't even say that Triple G got rocked with the shot. This is what I'm talking about with the fanboyism. Triple G won the fight. He's won every one of his pro fights, right? But they want to be so prideful that if you say Triple G got rocked, stunned, dazed, clipped, they're like, no, he got clipped. He was caught it off guard, but he was never hurt. That's how extreme these fans are. How do you get stunned without being hurt? Like he said stunned, yes, hurt, no. Somebody explain that. Listen, let's sort out Tevin's demise. How do you get stunned without getting hurt? Why would you be stunned? What stunned you? Like, if I don't understand. If I'm holding a baby and a baby hits me and I'm like, oh shit, I'm stunned, then the baby fucking hurt me. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? But like I said, there's different severities of being hurt. Some people get so stunned, it's a matter of time and the end is near. I never said that with Triple G because he got a good ass chin. Can we vote on Tevin? Because he's ducking the question, so let's just vote so we can continue this stream. Ego, you killing this dude? Man, they said they want that work. I'm just asking, like, it's a simple... Okay, no, I don't understand what you're saying. Okay, once more, because you're like ruining the stream. How do you get stunned by a guy you noted? You just said Curtis Stevens is a big puncher. Triple G got caught off guard. So how do you get caught by a guy off guard who you admit is a big puncher? No, I'm not looking at what you said. Put it again. Once again, you're trying to distract. I'm going to ask you one more time. You admitted Curtis Stevens is a big puncher. You said that. and you admitted that Triple G got clipped off guard with, and I told you, and if you don't believe it, then you don't know boxing. Curtis Stevens, one of his money punches, signature punches, is his left hook. Saddam Ali even said that when he beat Cotto. He said, man, that Curtis Stevens, because they sparred together, and Saddam Ali beat Cotto. He said that Curtis Stevens hook had me right in camp. So we established 3 provable facts. You admit that Curtis Stevens has power. You admit that Triple G got caught off guard. And people like Saddam Ali, who sparred with Curtis Stevens, and people like me who know boxing, and we're testifying that that's one of his best punches. I mean, he knocked out Saul Roman with a nasty left hook. So I know that's one of his punches. So it's provable, right? It's provable. Finally, we got this guy blocked, the other guy blocked. It's provable. So explain to me, with all those things considered, how do you stun somebody with all those variables, but they're not hurt? Just write it one more time so we can vote. See this is what we have to deal with. This is what we have to deal with in the boxing game. But it's cool. I got time. Today I got time, cuz. I got time. He responded. Okay, he says he has a chin. Getting stunned is like getting slapped off guard by a girl. It stuns you, so you make a weird face once it connects, but a punch that hurts you hurts you. You don't know shit about boxing. Let's vote. That was probably one of the worst things I've read in a hot seat. He says getting stunned is like getting slapped by a girl. Wow. I know some girls that would slap the shit out you for even writing that, and you would be more than stunned. Let's vote. Let's vote. If he got the L, then if y'all want to slap him the fuck out this stream, put that L up there. Bye, Tevin. Bye, Tevin. See what I'm talking about? He said it's like getting slapped by a girl. Being hurt is totally different. Being stunned is like getting slapped by a girl. Like, what? But you, listen. Hold on. Is Tevin still in it? Do it. Oh, okay, he already got blocked. Don't unblock him, but just listen to what people say. I say the same thing all the time. This is how we separate the real from the fake. So his earlier comments, he literally said Curtis Stevens is a big puncher. He literally said that Triple G got caught off guard. But in his final response before we zipped him up, he says being stunned is the equivalent of getting slapped by a 15-year-old girl or whatever he said. So how you're fighting a grown man that you admit had power, so how the fuck is it equivalent to getting slapped by a girl when he landed his signature punch on you and he's a man? Explain how that makes, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't even make sense. You admitted the guy's a power puncher and we all know he's a man, and he landed his signature punch and you equate it to being slapped like a girl. That's what I'm talking about. It's these fans. They're so desperate. They're so eager. And they think, and you know what the funny thing is? You know what the funniest thing with this is? I give Triple G a lot of credit. Like, in their efforts to try to make Triple G look better, like nothing can hurt him, they're actually taking away credit. To me, as a real boxing fan, I was more impressed that he took Curtis Stevens' best punch, got mad or whatever, and made that face and ate the shit, and then finished him off in a couple of rounds after that. You know what I'm saying? But these fans they're not fans. It's like, it's some next level 2018 shit. They're like super groupies or something. So it's like, no, don't ever say my man Triple G got hurt in a fight. My boy Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, ain't never been hurt in no fight. Don't you ever dare fix your lips to say that my Golovkin, Mr. Good Boy, got hurt in a fight. Like, you're trying to like protect him or whatever you're in love with them, Stan, I don't know, so bad that you're taking away credit. Triple G has a fucking chin. He took Curtis Stevens' best punch. That's commendable. Not that you want to get hit, but the fact that you can get hit and you're still standing. It's not, I never said his legs buckled, he was about to get knocked out, but these guys are like, it's a weird obsession with these fighters. Don't you ever say Triple G got hurt. My man Triple G had 351 fights. He ain't never been hurt as an amateur. He ain't never been hurt as a pro. But see, that's what I'm saying. This is because you guys listen to Abel Sanchez building his fighter up. Because Abel said something, and Golovkin said that he's never been hurt in a fight. You know what I mean? But his version of hurt, put it this way: when Curtis Stevens clipped him with that left hook, he wasn't looking to get that left hook again. You know what I'm saying? Okay, listen. See, this is starting to, someone said he's human and nigga been hurt. That's funny. That's hilarious. But listen to me. If, as a real boxing analysis or fan or whatever, why did Triple G, I just showed you, when Curtis Stevens was on the, okay, first of all, keep in mind, this was after Curtis Stevens got knocked on the ground and looked like he was on a roller coaster, like, doing all that shit. This was later in the fight, but he was still hanging on or whatever. Why was Curtis Stevens in the corner, and why did he land those 1-2s and then catch Triple G on the chin with a hook? Triple G's making his face, and why did Triple G back up? If that shit was nothing to him, then why did he back up? Why did that get, because when he fought Willie Monroe, he wasn't really backing up per se, because Willie Monroe has 6 knockouts. So the fact that he backed Triple G, see, the thing is, Triple G has a chin, and he wasn't able to sustain backing him up. And if you can't sustain backing him up, then you're fucked, because Triple G is very good at what he does. You know what I'm saying? But these fans are crazy, man. Like, why, if he ate that like a Scooby snack and he loved how it felt and he just wanted to get aggressive and get his man out of there, why did he back up when Curtis Stevens was pretty much against the ropes and in the corner? Listen, I'm gonna put out a we having a block party. Oh, we having a party. If people come in here and try to control the stream when nobody else is complaining and they're like, hey, move on, switch the subject, you'll be removed. We're not doing these disruptions. I just got rid of somebody. Like, we just having a block party, people. He said, move on, this is boring, Z's. He put hella Z's. Like, if you're so bored, leave. Leave and come back. Nobody else is complaining. We're just having regular boxing talk. But people think they can come into the live, it's called a live stream. I'm not gonna talk about Triple G's chin for the whole episode, but it's like they think they can come in for a couple seconds and then dictate the conversation and where it goes. It's a freestyle. We just having fun. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. The fans won't admit shit nowadays. Like I said, when did Paulie Malignaggi stun Sean Porter? Stun is not being hurt. What are you guys talking about? Crazy. Anyway, Triple G got a good ass chin though. He gets that. That's what I'm saying. People, let's talk about something else. You talk about something. You leave and come back when we talking about something else. Let's get to 200 likes. If you're new to the stream, hit the like button. Y'all want to talk about, finish the Vasil Lomachenko? See, I always get sidetracked, so I don't even know. I know we were talking about the Vasil Lomachenko shit. This is listen, the whole Vasily shit. Bottom line is he's a good fighter. He's talented, he's skilled. No Lomachenko, or no Lomachenko, whatever the fuck you want to call him. He's good. But the problem I have is not through Lomachenko, not that he did this, is when you actually start disrespecting history instead of letting him prove it. Like, honestly, I just showed you guys. Muhammad Ali got fucking 61 fights with this record, and we know who he fought. Mayweather's 50-0. He's 10-1 and turned pro in 2013. That's some different shit. Listen. How far away is 11 from 50? What's 50 minus 11? Anybody know math? You guys tell me what that is. What is 50 minus 11? It's not an even number. Someone said 40. It's 39. Exactly. 39. Damn, some of you guys need to go back to school. So, Lomachenko is 39 fights away. He's 39 fights away from the amount of fights that Floyd Mayweather has. How is that fair to compare it? Do you guys, honestly, Lomachenko's 29 right now. Do you honestly see him moving up 5 divisions and getting to 50 fights? Honestly, yes or no? He's 29 now. He has a style that relies heavily on athleticism. You know what I mean? People slow down naturally. You think he's going to have 39 more fights before it's all said and done? AKA 50 fights total. So what are we really comparing? And again, you guys, I have tough skin, so none of that shit affects me. You call me a hater or whatever you want, but that shit bounces right off me because I know you're not disproving what I'm saying. He's like, and the reason he's not even on par with the amount he fights per year. He's not even on par unless he fights to like Bernard Hopkins' age or something. He's not even on par to have, you know what I mean, that many fights because of how late he came in the game. Manny Pacquiao used to fight in the Philippines and put weights in his pocket and stuff so he could fight at higher weights. So that's why he has like 60-something fights. Muhammad Ali, after he went to the Olympics, he got it rocking. He didn't stay and go for another Olympics. Same thing with Floyd. He got robbed in the Olympics. He got it cracking. Same thing with De La Hoya. That's why they have so many fights because they already got it cracking by the time. But Lomachenko stayed an amateur so long that he's 29 now with only 11 fights. You know how much? You know how frequent Lomachenko would have to fight to get 50-0 within a reasonable age with his style? See, wow, someone just did the math. Someone said Lomachenko would have to fight 3 fights a year for 13 years. Wow, and he only fought 2 times this year. And I don't remember a year where he fought 3 times. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. Wow, see, Ego's Army's on point. Just to get to 50 fights, he would have to fight 3 times a year for 13 years. What's 29 plus 13? 29, 39, 42? So he would have to do that until he's 42. He would have to fight through. This is funny now. He would have to fight 3 times a year until age 42, or unless he had a year where he somehow doubled it up and did 6 in a year. I mean, you can cut that down. He would have to fight 3 times. At this pace, he'd have to fight 3 times. Wow. See, now we put stuff into perspective. That's what we do here, this new media side. He would have to fight until he's 42, from 29 to 42, 3 times a year to get 50 fights at this point of his career. So, once again, what are we comparing? You know what I mean? And then not to mention, some of the people that Floyd fought, they're long gone. Like, they're dead or retired. So the competition level might not be the same as when Floyd was there. You know what I mean? Like Diego Corrales, Gennaro Hernandez, and Arturo Gatti. Those are all deceased people, but they were, at the time, they were ranked guys. All right, we got another hot seat. Super J Kelly. See, it's only a matter of time. All you have to do is keep talking, and then they always come out. He says quality over quantity, Ego. So explain who. Okay, so I'm gonna explain Floyd's quantity, and you explain Rigondeaux's quantity in 11 fights, and you tell me how Lomachenko has a higher quality. This is gonna be fun because I know there's no way you can beat me. There's no way. So my defense, or my side that I'm arguing for, is Floyd Mayweather's quality. Because you're gonna see, this is what they always do. They always say cliche shit. You know, everyone's entitled to opinion. Quality over quantity. Okay. So you vouch for Lomachenko's quality right now because they're comparing him right now, and I'll vouch for Floyd's quality. So let's have this. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be fun. Everybody grab your popcorn. I'm gonna name a really good Floyd Mayweather win. This is how we could do it, and we'll see who loses first. Fine. Is that fine? So you said it's all about quality, not quantity. So I'm gonna say a Floyd win, and you tell me a person Lomachenko has fought, since it's all about the quality and not quantity, right? and you name a person that's better than the guy I'm saying for Floyd. So Manny Pacquiao. Name someone Lomachenko has beat that's better than Manny Pacquiao. This is gonna be fun, because your whole argument is it's quality, not quantity. So in those few fights, since they're comparing him to it right now, I'll name a what I believe is a quality Floyd win, and you tell me who's better that Lomachenko has beat. Manny Pacquiao. So name one person that he has fought that is better than Pacquiao, or more proven than Pacquiao. He's a damn hella over already. No, hey, he might have something that we don't know. I don't even think you can do it in his 400 amateur fights, because you don't even know who the fuck he fought. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even use his amateur bag. So come on, Mr. Quality Quantity. Who's better than Manny Pacquiao? Hey, what's his name too? Because I forgot it already. What's the hot seat guy's name? Somebody snitch on him. So we know who to block. Where is this dude at? New media. Oh, Super J Kelly. Okay, cool. Thank you. See, that's how I know y'all are paying attention. He said, no, you... Oh, see? Copping a plea. How convenient. No, you misunderstood. Eventually... No. No, you can't do that. I'm gonna... Hold on. I'm gonna read, and then I'm gonna rebuttal, even though you should be answering my question. But I'll play your game. And I'll step outside because I know you can't beat me. He says, no, you misunderstood. Eventually, once he racks up more wins, the quality will expand. Obviously, with 10 fights, he doesn't compare at the moment. You were just talking about his future, correct? Now you're changing it. No, Dan Rayfield is saying 11-fight Loma that just beat Rigondeaux. ESPN is saying 11-fight Loma could wax and dust up Floyd Mayweather. They didn't say future Lomachenko, or Lomachenko, if he keeps racking up a couple more bodies, he can beat Pretty Boy Floyd's record, or he can beat Floyd. They're saying the shit now. So don't talk about eventually. They're making the comments right now. They're saying he's Muhammad Ali like talent right now. So you've already lost right there, talking about, oh, eventually. So and listen, this is how I know you're copping a plea. Your whole argument, see, everybody put, these young boys can't beat me, because they can't. These young boys can't beat me with these silly ass arguments. Once again, his initial argument, listen to what people say, was, hey, ego, it's quality, not quantity. Okay, fine. So how did I misunderstood you? You said the amount of fights Floyd has doesn't really matter. It's all about the quantity. So I asked you, and I challenged you with Floyd's quality to compare to Lomachenko's quantity, aka name someone that Lomachenko has beat that is equivalent to the quality of Lomachenko's opponent wins that's comparable to the quantity of Floyd Mayweather's win. And now you're copping pleas. Great. He says, nigga, you not even listening. Floyd is TBE in my eyes. More copping pleas. I don't care if he's TBE. I don't care if you were there when he hit that girl, or like, none of that stuff matters. Floyd is TBE, but it's hard to compare records at this point because he has 10 fights. So once again, you are like, I don't understand if you guys know this. You are proving the point. See, I'm the biased racist guy. Remember? You guys are proving my point. He said Floyd is TBE, but it's hard to compare records at this point because he has 10 fights. So when I say it, then I'm the bad guy, and you say I'm hating Lomachenko. You say you can't compare, and that's all I've said about Lomachenko. He's a talent, yes, but to compare him to Ali and Mayweather, I'm like, no. Oh, let's vote, because he's clearly, he's like waving the white flag, but he's not doing it. He says, you're talking to me like I said what Dan Rayfield said. No, you vouched for the shit when you said ego, it's quality, not quantity. Now you're backtracking because you're supposed to be arguing Lomachenko's quantity or excuse me, Lomachenko's quality to Floyd's quality. Why would you? Okay, here's the last one. Don't vote yet. Hold on. Don't vote yet. Listen. Oh my gosh, you're getting bodied. He says eventually. So how can we forecast what the fuck he's gonna do eventually if he ain't done it? Strike number 10. So you said eventually he'll be there. How do you know what he'll do eventually unless you're Miss Cleo? Call now for your free reading. How do you know how do you know Lomachenko can win 20 fights in a row? His next 20. And go like undefeated for 20 fights, 15 fights. You don't know that. You don't know that. So it doesn't make sense to say this eventually shit. Because we're talking about the present. They're not saying eventually he could beat Pretty Boy Floyd. They're saying he could beat Floyd Mayweather right now. You know what I'm saying? In a hypothetical world, they're saying this Loma, Dan Rayfield's tweet said, the Loma that beat Rigondeaux, who moved up 2 weight classes, would beat Pretty Boy Floyd. He's not saying eventually Loma will be good enough where he could surpass. He's saying it right now. So you getting bodied, man. You're getting real life slayed. You're supposed to be arguing the quality versus quantity aspect, and you failed to do that. Man, this is that murder, death, kill. For what? Okay, here. I'm just abusing the corpse, y'all. What name Rigondeaux's best 2 wins? I mean, Lomachenko. What's Lomachenko's best 2 wins in your eyes? If you had to narrow it down out of 11 fights. Come on, Jay Kelly. Russell and Walters. Damn, you didn't even put Rigondeaux up there. Wow. Okay. Russell and Walters. Now, for both Russell and Walters, I can name you 3 to 5 people that Floyd fought for each of those people that had more momentum, they had done more in their careers at the time Floyd fought them. Bet that up. Does anyone want to see this? Does anyone want to see this body? Well, he's already a body, but does anyone want to say that? Does anyone want to see it? Okay, so Nicholas Walters coming off a draw and a year layoff where he gained weight. I can think of several. Canelo wasn't coming off a year layoff in a draw. He was younger than Floyd. He was bigger than Floyd. He had just beaten Austin Trout and he had beat Shane Mosley. That's one, right? Zab Judah was a lot more accomplished than Nicholas Walters was. He had fought everybody. You know what I mean? Cotto. He fought, what's his name? Cotto. What the fuck is the dude's name? Carlos Baldomir and Corey Spinks. By the time he fought Floyd and stuff like that, so he was there. De La Hoya, that goes without saying. Ricky Hatton was undefeated, and he had beat Costazu and Jose Luis Castillo. Right? That's 4. That's 4. The 4 people that had more momentum and more of a career, more impressive wins leading up to their fight with Floyd than Nicholas Walters. And Gary Russell, that's even easier. That's even easier. Diego Corrales, he was 30-0. He had 27 knockouts. He had 7 wins in a row. His last 7 fights, he knocked out 6 of them. That's how you say it. Shane Mosley just beat the shit out of Antonio Margarito. That's 2. Gennaro Hernandez, because that was Floyd's step up. Angel Manfredi, or is it Peter Manfredi? I forget. Philip Nadal, Emmanuel Augustus. They all had better wins and resumes and all that than, what's the name? Angel Manfredi. So, you getting dusted off, my boy. And once again, the simplest first part of your argument was comparing. You said, "Hey, why did you say is quality? Is quality over what do you say? Quality over quantity? Why did you even say that? When we know Floyd has the higher quality and quantity, how does that even make sense? Why would you even say that statement? Oh, let me guess. Eventually, you can't. That's the whole problem with boxing right now. You can't talk about what's going to happen eventually when it doesn't happen. Because in my mind, I'm not 100% sold that Lomachenko would beat Mikey Garcia. Some of you guys might be, but if he fights him at 135, definitely at 140, I, I'm not, I'm not, I'm not 100% sure he absolutely wins that. All right, more bullshit from him. He said because at this point Loma has faced better competition. Who did Floyd fight? Okay. Once again, we're this is. Do y'all want to just vote? Because he's getting abused right now. Once again, this is how they try to trick the mind. Listen, I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna abuse this corpse. Y'all want me to zip this kid? Jay Kelly's getting zipped. Once again, he says because at this point Loma has faced better competition. Who did Floyd fight in his first 10 fights? You can't compare people's careers as if they're the same. And let me zip this kid up. Does Lomachenko have better opposition in the first 10 fights? Yes. But guess what? Lomachenko also has an L in his second fight. Floyd has 50 fights for 2 decades. I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but 2 times 10, so that's 2 decades. That's 20 years. And Floyd has never lost in 20 years. So, yes, Lomachenko has better opposition in his first 10 fights, but Floyd also doesn't have an L in 50 fights. So which one would you, listen, would you rather be the guy that said, man, I got beat in my second fight and I'm up to 11 fights and I'm improving, but I've moved at a faster rate, or the guy who said for 20 years, these boys can't beat me? Who would you rather be? You're telling me you would rather be the guy who had the faster start but lost faster too? This shit is too easy. Man, can y'all give me some harder work? This is some easy ass work. You like, yeah, who did Floyd fight in his first 10 fights? Who did Floyd lose to in his first 50 fights? That's an even better question. Bye-bye, Jay Kelly. Time to vote. I'm spending too much time. And now, like, you know what I mean? I don't want the feds on me and all that. Let's vote. If he got bodied, probably worse than anyone today, put your L's up. Oh, he wants more. Listen, I was trying to let him go. He keeps going. This is what happens. They keep fighting. You can't win this, bro. Okay, he says, is he on a more historic pace than Floyd was 10 fights in? Yes or no? No. How are you on a more historic pace when you took a loss in your second fight? You're 29 years old. When Floyd was 21, he had won his first championship. Lomachenko wasn't 21 when he won his first championship. What are you talking about? Floyd was 21. Floyd had title defenses and moved up in weight by the time he was 29. What are you really saying? Y'all want me to keep abusing corpses? Like, I just don't get it. You said, is he on a more, how is he on a more, he's older. That's like saying Golovkin's on a more historic court. He's 35. How is he on a more historic pace? He started faster because he started later. And he has a good resume for 11 fights. You said, and we just, and I don't know when you joined the stream, but we just established at this pace, at age 29, Lomachenko would have to fight until he's 42 years old, 3 fights a year, all the way up until age 42, just to get 50 fights at this point. And y'all think these boys could beat me? Oh my gosh. So Lomachenko, you really think Lomachenko in his career, because you said he's on a more historic pace or whatever the fuck you said, you think he's going to fight up until age 42, right? And he's going to fight 3 times a year for 3 years. And he's already off to a bad start because he didn't have 3 fights this year. You know what I'm saying? And he would be 49-1. See, now the people in the comments are just killing you. Give it up, bro. You lost. See, and I just introduced this waving the white flag. You should have did that a long time ago. Now you got to get blocked. Let's vote. I'm done. I'm done. They think they could somehow weasel their way out of it. If he got that crucial L, put your L's up. And again, how can you speak to what Lomachenko can do eventually? Lomachenko hasn't moved up 5 divisions. Floyd has. You know what I'm saying? He's moved. Oh my gosh. He moved up 2 divisions. And the divisions, this division's cool. There's some talent in there. But 126 at the time, I think it was before Leo and Abner and shit. Hey, get him out of here. One of my mods, get him out. He been fried. We fried this dude. Yo, we stopped at 199. Can we get the likes? I know you guys are entertained and in the comment section. Yo, did anyone block him? I can't see his name anymore. Shout out to my dude J Dog. This is what we do. This is that gladiator style shit. You see my points and you see their points. All the listen to me. I'm giving people the game. If you think you could defeat new media, you got to come much stronger than that. This whole who did Floyd fight in his first 11 fights? Who did Floyd lose to in his first 50 fights? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't even make sense. Because, and the other thing is, you could say, who did Canelo fight? Listen, who did Canelo fight in his first 40 fights? I don't fucking know. But at this current moment, Canelo has more fights than Lomachenko, but he's 2 years younger than Lomachenko, and he has a better resume than Lomachenko. Does anyone listen? I don't accept other people's opinion. I'm biased and all this. Does anyone believe that Lomachenko, with 11 fights, has a better resume than Canelo Alvarez? Please step up. Please step up. If you think Loma's resume is better, not in the first 10 fights, in its totality, if you think his resume is better, then please explain. Look what the people are saying. Hell no, fuck no, hell no. But once again, Canelo's path was to turn pro at 15, learn on the job. That's why he's worked his way up, got great, improved his skill, took the early Floyd loss, and he's younger than Lomachenko by 2 years, yet he has a better resume because Lomachenko gained his experience in the amateurs, had a completely different program and a completely different schedule, and it readied him for the pro game. That's why he's on the fast track. It's very simple. So for people to say, who did Floyd beat in his first 10 fights? I mean, who's Shakur Stevenson, Mick Connellan, all these other motherfuckers with top rank and PBC and gold? Who's Ryan Garcia fighting this Saturday? I mean, none of that stuff matters. And a lot of Shakur Stevens got a gold medal. Ryan Garcia has good amateur wins. But none of that matters. They're building their fighter up, even though they have experience. Mick Connellan, he was in the Olympics too. So it's because these guys, Shakur Stevenson didn't stick around and get 400 amateur fights and come into the pro game. He's right now, Shakur Stevenson, he's 21, 20, 18, whatever the fuck age he is. Yeah, Shakur got silver for sure. That's what I'm saying. If he would have waited another 4 years and kept fighting and racked up 400 fight, he'd be older as turning pro. So he'd be in a different ball game. So of course, his experience is going to be different. You guys can't compare people's journey. Like I said, Canelo, he learned on the job with no amateur experience. He don't have 400 amateur fights. You know what I mean? But he still has a better resume than Lomachenko. All right, Nuke Dukem, you're about to go down. Y'all want another hot seat? I'm about to body this man. Nuke Dukem, you're in the hot seat. All right, I can already tell you who knows their boxing. His comment: Floyd's bitchy blocking won't match up to Loma's technique. So explain how Loma would beat Floyd at 130 because Floyd was a bitchy blocker. What the fuck is a bitchy blocker? That's how I already know you don't know shit about boxing. Cause who even says stupid shit like that? Floyd's bitchy blocking. Look at here's what they think about you. Dude, listen, you really don't know shit about boxing. Dude, he made Rigo quit. Rigo throws less punches than Floyd threw in them lighter divisions. You don't know that because you don't know Floyd's career, obviously. Rigo now jumped up 2 weight classes. Floyd was established at 130 and beat people's ass at 130, 135, and he's moved up as high as 154. So you don't know shit about boxing. Rigondeaux would never move up to 154. He would be entirely too small. He wouldn't move up to welterweight. He wouldn't move up to 135. He would be too small. So he wouldn't be able to even keep growing and going up like Floyd did. and just to, let me body bag this, because it's not even worth, this is like not even worth my time. This is how you know he's a casual, because he said Floyd's bitchy blocking style. That's the Money Mayweather, more economical defense and then pot shot. The Floyd that was fighting at Pretty Boy, that Dan Rayfield and ESPN are saying Loma would beat, was a different fighter. Like, he was the Pretty Boy Floyd stage, and he was stupid aggressive. Watch the fight with Angel Manfredi. Watch the Gennaro Hernandez. Watch the Diego Corrales fight. And then even watch when he was fighting at 35 versus Chop Chop Corley and all them. But anyway, you don't know shit with your bitchy blocking ass. So let's just vote. That was an easy one. If he didn't prove Floyd's bitchy blocking style or whatever he was saying at Pretty Boy Floyd era, put your L's up. Yo, listen, one of my mods, get bitchy blocker out of here. That was some easy work. His name is Nukem Duke Nukem or some shit like that. You clearly, listen, the hot seat's getting so popular, we gotta start. Some people, we need new blood. No, you need to get blocked. I blocked them, everybody. Bitchy blockers out of here. Listen, if some people, if they're really not worth, like their argument's not worth it, I can't even give them 3 answers. We just have to say one apiece or something, and then we have to vote, because it's just taking too much time for people who aren't even worth, you know what I mean? The hot seat's just getting too popular. You know what I mean? And people are just clear, oh, his bitchy blocking style. He didn't even have a bitchy blocking style or whatever the fuck that means when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. Once again, this is what we have to this is how you could tell who's a square. Bitchy blocking style. Who says that? Man, so you know, my dude is a fighter, and he left a crazy, because I posted about the Ali comparisons and Floyd Mayweather. Do you know he brought up a point that even I didn't think of, and it had me like shook when he said that about Lomachenko? I was like, wow, I did not even think of that. And it was it's a simple point, but it's it's a very good one. And I was like, wow. Do y'all want to hear the point? Y'all want to hear it? If y'all want to hear it, we got to get to like 250 likes. We catching bodies. I know we got more people that just joined. Hit that like button. I'm looking for it right now. Hit that like button, people. Smash the like button while I'm looking for this. We need like 250. We should definitely be at 250 or better. He said Floyd's bitchy blocking style. That's crazy. Bitchy blocking style. Who even says stuff like that? So anyway, I didn't even give my opinion on this post, and everybody's commenting. I just asked, I said, question of the day, is it, I'm gonna show y'all, I'll show y'all. Yo, if you're a bitchy blocker and you're in this stream and you haven't hit the like button, don't be a bitchy blocker. Damn, there's so many comments on it, it's crazy. Oh, my guy found it. Y'all ready? Man, we gotta get them likes up, bitchy blockers. All right. So I made this little. Muhammad Ali has 61 total fights, 56-5. Floyd, we know, is 50-0. Lomachenko's 10-1. Now the thing is, like I said, my thing is this: let Lomachenko be great, let him develop, let him make everybody quit or whatever happens. But like the last person that was in the hot seat, you can't say what he'll do eventually when he hasn't done it. Like, you can't You can't predict that because no one knows. Bob Arum talking about he'll move up maybe to 135, maybe 140. We got to see that stuff. You don't get credit for it. Like, if you're in school, you got to turn in the assignment before you get the A. They don't give you an A and then you turn in the assignment. All right, bitchy blockers, hit that like button. So I didn't even give my opinion. I said, ego question of the day, boxing debate. Is it fair to compare Vasily Lomachenko with 11 fights, 10 wins, 1 loss to historic greats like Muhammad Ali or Floyd Mayweather? Both have 50 to 60 fights with great resumes and contemporary rivals. How early can you spot greatness? Lomachenko has a very strong resume given the fact he only has 11 pro fights. However, he does have 2 Olympic gold medals, 397 fights as an amateur, fought in the World Boxing Series tournament from weights of 130 to 135 without headgear for 6 fights. So he has 403 fights before turning pro. And he started his pro career later than Muhammad Ali, Oscar de la Hoya, Canelo, etc. So how soon can you compare a fighter to historic greats? Floyd was in the game 2 decades, 20 years as a pro and achieved 50 wins, no losses. Lomachenko turned pro in 2013 and it's 2017, so 4 years as a pro for reference. Let me know in the comment section. This should be fun. 566 likes. And some people were like, yeah. Look, a lot of people agreed. They said, if Loma retired right now, he'd be considered the greatest of all time, no question. Even if you disagree, I know you're a moron. What do y'all think? He says, if Lomachenko retired right now, he'd be considered the greatest of all time, no question. If you even disagree, I know you're a moron. This is what I'm talking about. And they see, and the statement, see, this is what happens. Dan Rayfield, ESPN, Bob Arum say all these comments, and then you get people in the comment section who really start believing it, and it creates this whole wildfire. So I'm gonna ask, because I know we got some real boxing fans in here. If Lomachenko quit at 10-1, would you say he's the greatest of all time? Like, I mean, really, just be honest. Is there anyone in here, we have 200 plus people in here, that would say Lomachenko is the greatest you've ever seen with a 10-1 record? And the dude had the audacity to call people a moron if you didn't agree. He said, and if you even think about disagreeing, I know you're a moron. It's like, okay. See, that's what I'm saying. And how come I didn't even state my opinion for the record in the Instagram post? I just said the question of the day, right? Shall we continue? So one person's opinion. And then here, this is why, listen, this is why I like the hot seat, because they can't do what they try to do to me on the, look, this is what they try to do when I can't, you know what I mean, when there's no hot seat there, or at least it's not the same. Look, ego doesn't like Lomachenko, period. He discredits him in some type of way every time. So once again, it's back to me, and then I'm the bad guy, right? And you notice I responded to him. I said, okay, so are you going to answer the questions now and use examples? And here he is. He says, of course, it's not better than Muhammad Ali or Floyd Mayweather, but literally bashing Loma just for the heck of it, like no one really is saying these comparisons. But we just heard. See, this is what it creates. So he says no one is saying that, but Bob Arum is saying it. See, this is new media. It's more work, people. What I do is more work than what they do, because they could just say this shit. I gotta actually show y'all, because I have this thing called integrity, and I don't give a fuck who's mad. Look, I show you. Bob Arum, Vasily Lomachenko. Shout out to ES News. Bob Arum, Vasily Lomachenko is the greatest fighter since Ali, 8 months ago. And he said it multiple times, right? So I'm showing you the proof. That's just one. That's one example of it. So back to this dude. Back to this cat. Of course he's not better than Ali or Floyd, but literally bashing Lomachenko for the heck of it, like no one really is saying these comparisons. Once again, you guys tell me who won. I see them, they run. No one's saying it, but I just showed you one way to get one way out of multiple ways to achieve and see that someone compared Lomachenko and said he's the greatest since Muhammad Ali. Right? See, once again, new media. This is what, listen, people. I don't give a fuck if you hate me, if you don't like me, if you like me, whatever the situation. But at the end of the day, if you really care about boxing, you should have some integrity. You know what I'm saying? And the people who are saying the opposite of what I'm saying, hold them to some kind of standard, right? Look, I'm showing you the stuff. Dan Rayford, verified page. The Lomachenko we just saw embarrass Rigo would give the 130-pound Mayweather hell and just might beat him too, right? But once again, in the comment section, no one is saying and making these comparisons, right? But they blame me. And then when I correct it, and I'm like, I totally disagree, and here's why. Look, here's my response. I said, okay, so what did I bash Lomachenko on? You just said he's not better than Floyd or Ali. I said it too. I said it's too premature to make those comparisons. You agree, yet I'm bashing Lomachenko and you're not, even though we agree on it. So please use factual info that I've said that where I bash Lomachenko and I don't like him. I'll wait. Now, if you guys were betting men or women, do you think he ever responded to me? When I said, hey, show me any proof of this bashing. So you agreed that his resume is not better than Ali. His resume is not better than Floyd. But for some reason, for me to say it, I'm bashing him. He never responded. That's why we do the, listen, this is why we do the hot seat, because there's no way out of the hot seat. On Instagram and all these other websites, or if I do a video and I can't talk back, then they could just disappear. Oh, I guess he did respond right now. Hold on, I haven't seen it. He said boxing, here it is. This is a dude. I didn't notice he in the last couple hours he must have. Boxing ego, because you've been bashing him after every fight, not just like this one, like in the Walters fight. How did I bash him in the Walters fight? See? I asked him to use specific examples. Did we get that? Honestly, as real, you guys really care about the sport, right? And he can't give me one example. One example. And then he says, I bashed him after the Walters fight. So, new media. Why would I bash him after the Walters fight when I made this video a year ago, 17,000 views, and it says 7 reasons Vasyl Lomachenko will beat Axeman Nicholas Walters' boxing ego. So, once again, this is why they can't fuck with me. They don't have the paper trail. So he said I bashed Lomachenko after the Walters fight, yet I have a video from a year ago before the fight where I picked Lomachenko to beat Nicholas Walters. So let me get this straight, just in case you're joining the stream. I make a video that's 13 minutes long entitled 7 Reasons Vasyl Lomachenko Will Beat Axeman Nicholas Walters, Boxing Ego. You see that, like, I mean, it's clickable, it's not Photoshop, right? Ego, you see my logo, Boxing Ego, right? Hold up. And I'm giving you all these reasons. I'm giving you reasons why Lomachenko will win. Yet, according to the fucking liar, he says I bashed him for beating Walters when I picked him. All right, we got another hot seat. This is how we do. Christian Saez He says you're always hating on Lomachenko. So I've said facts. What is hate? What, like, okay, if I want to hate on somebody, why would I even take the time to show you factual information? He's lying, trying to assassinate your character. Now we about to assassinate Christian's cries. You about to be crying like Keaton and Tyrese and all them motherfuckers. So what? How did I hate on Lomachenko? Listen up. Here's the good part. This is the part where I get bodied. Where I just showed another thing. I just showed you a video where I picked Lomachenko to beat a guy where not everyone was picking him. A lot of people thought Walters. Troy King thought Walters was gonna beat Lomachenko, and I was like, hell no. I picked the Rigondeaux, get it wrong, and all of a sudden I hate Lomachenko. Okay, so we're waiting on you. They are resorting to lying on you, ego. Hey, you said it. Okay, once again, notice no example. See, I'm showing my work. His response is, you never give him the credit he deserves, especially evident in the Rigo fight. Okay, give us an example. What did I say? What, name something I said? You said, if you're saying I never give him credit, then you should have a plethora, a bountiful amount of different examples that you can show us. Because I'm the hater, right? So I'm the hater, but you can't think of one thing I said to hate on him. How does that work? That's like someone saying, oh, Adolf Hitler was racist. Prove it. Okay. Open up a history book and you have multiple ways you could prove that Adolf Hitler is racist, right? So what did I say to hate on Lomachenko? And we're still waiting. And use specifics, intangibles. You could say a quote from me. And if I never heard myself say it, then I'm going to ask you to cite your source. Notice how the responses slow up even more because they know they're jammed up. They know they're in the hot seat. And they know they're out of options. It's just like, it's like being like the SWAT team's after you. You know what I'm saying? SWAT team's after you. You're surrounded. You know you can't go anywhere. So it's just a matter of do you want to end it yourself or do you want to jump out the window? You're going to surrender? What are you going to do? That's how they are. We like the SWAT team. Come out, you're surrounded. Hold on. You were trying to wash down his win on Rigondeaux like saying you never saw a great performance in the Rigondeaux fight. Never once said that. I never once said that. Like, I could have said it wasn't the sharpest performance I seen, which is true, and the CompuBox support that. But I said he got his man out of there, and he got the desire to achieve results. That's what I said. And I said that Rigondeaux moved up 2 weight classes, so that's something we have to consider. See, people like you don't want to consider the fact. You don't want no one to know he moved up 2 weight classes, and if someone says it, then they're making an excuse. But it's a fact. You know what I'm saying? It's a factual information, but if someone mentions it, you're like, oh, you're making an excuse. So anyway, I never said he had a bad performance. So where's the hate? You're not doing a good job. That's 1 strike. You got 2 more responses. Where's the hate? What did I say to hate on Lomachenko? You guys tell me. He says and see, look, they say it's like I'm so full of hate, but they can't name one solid example that we can just show or research or show an Instagram post or whatever. Really? It should be easy, right? Damn, my man Christian got the itchy trigger finger. He a mod. He ready to do the countdown. I'm just gonna drink my tea while we wait for you to cry and think of some more bullshit. See, listen, the casuals have not yet found a way to conquer the hot seat. They haven't. Okay, I bow down to you, sir. I wave the white flag, daddy. And you're doing too much, so you're getting blocked. Oh, see? My shooter's already on deck. Mr. Glob's got you. The fact that you said I bow down to you and daddy, you have to bow down the regular way. Once again, I like the bow down option, though. The white flag. But the fact that you put daddy and all that extra shit, that was suspect. So my shooters already had you. My shooters got you. Listen, all the moderators, we added a rule. If they bow down, and if they don't do it in that way, like, oh, bow down, daddy. Yeah, daddy. You don't have to do all that. Just say, okay, you got me or whatever. You could put them on timeout instead of blocking them. That's the new option. But Mr. Globs, I'm glad you blocked him because he was doing too much. He was doing too much with the, you got me, daddy, and all that. But once again, you guys see it. He stepped up to the plate, got put in the hot seat, tried to assassinate my character, throw mud on my name, and when it came down to it, he couldn't think of one solid example of me hating, but I'm the biggest hater. It's uncanny. But like I said, the casuals, the liars, the racists, whatever, they haven't figured out a way to beat the hot seat, because you have to be truthful in the hot seat, because the fans know what to expect and they're waiting for your answer. So, and you know what I mean? And the people are going to tell you about yourself, including me. If I'm saying a bunch of bullshit, they'll be like, damn, he got you, ego. He proved that what you just said was a lie. But I'm not out here lying, so it's going to be hard for you to do that. And I've already thought about half of the bullshit they think about, so we already ready for them. It's all about adjustments, being 2 feet ahead or 2 steps ahead. I'm telling y'all gonna see, it's a new breed. And why would he bow down? I was a hater. I was a hater. All you had to do is show the crowd an example of it. How I hated on Loma. I never hate. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say, at the end of the day, I'll be the Kaepernick of boxing or whatever the fuck it takes. You know what I mean? As long as I know what I'm doing is right, then I don't really care. I got tough skin. It's cool. Because just like Kaepernick can't get a job in the NFL, I still go to fights. I could still get into fights. You know what I mean? And even beside that, Kaepernick started getting other deals and parlaying other situations off that. So, you know what I mean? And truth be told, I get more money not going to fights. Because going to fights is an expenditure. You ask anybody. When you go to fight, you have to actually, like, you have to pay for flights and hotels and shit. If I cover the fight at home and do live streams and shit, I make more money. But I go to fights for the experience and really the fans. That's really it. Now, listen, hit the like button. We're struggling to get to that 250 mark. I think people are just entertained with the hot seats and stuff, and y'all be forgetting. My enforcers, my mods, make sure y'all keep reminding people to hit the like button. That stuff is important. Even on, like I said, even on the regular videos, because I'm standing up for boxing people. This is Ego's Army. And I've seen sometimes people just come in. Someone sent me a screenshot, actually. Some dude was like, yeah, I got 5 accounts and I just hit the dislike button. I mean, whatever. I don't get paid off of that, but we got to combat that bullshit. If somebody has 5 accounts and then they go on all of them just to hit the dislike button, like, that shows me how your life is. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of time on your hands. And listen, if you hate on me, it's a full-time job, because I be working my ass off. So good luck like that. And the worst part about it, it's a full-time job with no benefits, with no pay. You're not getting paid to hate. I'm getting paid to do what I do. So it is what it is. Do y'all want to see, since we're right back on track, my dude who's a fighter, shout out to Prentice Brewer, he just made a good point on that Lomachenko, Izzy in the same stratosphere, Ali, Floyd post that I put. Do y'all want to see his post, his response? When he said it, it really shook me, because you know how something so simple could be said and it just puts things in perspective, and you're like, wow, I didn't even think of it like that. Y'all ready for it? Can I get a hell? If y'all ready for it, can I get a hell yeah? If y'all want to know this point from an actual boxer, right? Can I get a hell yeah? So while we're sitting up here, and I hate when people say this. I hate when people in boxing say radical things and then they're like, oh yeah, they just said it for shock value, for headlines. Yeah, but it's still, you still disrespect the game. Like for De La Hoya to say, I want to fight Conor McGregor after he bashed, it makes him look bad. You get what I'm saying? It makes him look bad that you bashed Floyd and begged and pleaded for fans to boycott the fight. and then now you're coming out, even if you're just doing it for publicity. I mean, you guys have to, as men, as women, as adults, you guys, do you have any code or any kind of like integrity? Like, so would you guys just say anything? Would you be, oh, my mom's a bitch? You know what I'm saying? You just will say anything for headlines? Like, I don't do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna purposefully make myself look like a hypocrite. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna purposefully make myself look like a hypocrite just for headlines. You know what I mean? I could do that I could say wild shit all the time, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sell my soul for some headlines. So whether Dan Rayfield really believes and ESPN really believes that Pretty Boy Floyd would possibly lose to Lomachenko, or if he just did it for headlines, you guys got to challenge this stuff. You guys, it's like, here's an example. See, there's a lot of things in boxing, and I can think of a ton of ways to solve it, and then we'll get into this fighter's comment that had me shook. For example, just peek this out. I'm up here. I'm the people's champ. You already know. I'm giving y'all live streams. I'm giving y'all boxing news. I go to fights. You know what I mean? I'm probably gonna link up with Troy King tomorrow or the next day, so he'll be back to speak his mind on all these issues. You know what I mean? I'm the people's champ. Now, hold these other reporters to that. You know what I'm saying? So Dan Rayfield, everyone wants to say, oh, everyone's entitled to her opinion. So here's my challenge. You guys push and challenge Dan Rayfield to get on tape and explain his standpoint. Just like when I'm explaining my stuff, I'm sitting up here with y'all for an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3, 5 hours, you know what I mean? Just depending on whatever it is, to express my points of views, my thoughts. I'm part of the boxing community, you know what I mean? Not just a tweet with 208, because they just bumped it up, 260, 280 characters. If you really think Lomachenko will fuck with him, then have somebody record you at the ESPN studio and put it on YouTube, and then let people know why Lomachenko would piece up Mayweather at that weight, and see what the feedback is. And then what they should do is on the next next ESPN boxing telecast, play back Dan Rayfield's fantasy fight prediction, right? Dan Rayfield already blocked me a long time ago. But anyway, play it on ESPN, like in the middle of the boxing coverage, say, hey, we got a special fantasy fight report, and we'll see who believes in what they say, because the stuff I say, I put it out there. It's out in the atmosphere. I'm not just tweeting it. Ask him to break down the fight, and we'll see who knows what. You say Pretty Boy Floyd will get stomped or possibly lose and all that, that's cool. So break it down. Break it down for the fans why he would lose, and we'll see who knows what, because I could break down my opinions like I always do. Chill, ego, ESPN ain't suicide. But that's what I'm saying. But that's the fuck shit. Because so you could just say anything on Twitter. That's what's cool now. You could just say whatever on Twitter, and there's no accountability. You could just say it, make headlines or make people mad or whatever, and you don't ever have to break down your shit. How did you, Jeffrey Guy, how did you know that? How did you know how he blocked me? Because that's exactly when he blocked me. That's funny. I don't care why he blocked me. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, he blocked me over that Broner shit, I think, because that's when I noticed it. Because I made a video. How you mad at me? The title of the video was like, Adrian Broner humiliates ESPN's Dan Rayfield. And I quoted what Broner said. He said it. I didn't say the shit. I'm just telling you what he said. But anyway, let's get to the fighter's point. Can I have my own opinion without getting blocked? How about you put your opinion, and I'll let the fans decide if you belong in the hot seat. So if your opinion sounds shaky, then the wolves might get you and might elect you into the hot seat. So I won't do it. But you could put, if you feel froggish, leap, and you could put your opinion, and if the fans want you in the hot seat based on your opinion to battle me, and it's something I disagree with, then we'll have a duel. So that's to what's his name? Where is he at? His name is Top 5S. He said, can I have my own opinion without getting blocked? I won't leave it up to me. You could put your opinion for sure. You know what I mean? It's America. It's a free country. Put your opinion, and I didn't even think. So listen what he said. It's very simple. Lomachenko 10-1. It's very simple, and people are comparing him to Muhammad Ali, saying what version of Floyd he could beat. 50-0, 61 fights. This guy got 10, 11 fights, right? And what Prentice said, who's a fighter, pro fighter, he says he has one belt, bro. At least unify a division first. You gotta think about that. Like real life shit. You gotta think about that. You gotta think about Lomachenko is receiving all of, listen, Lomachenko is receiving all the comparisons to Muhammad Ali, what version of Pretty Boy Floyd he could beat. And Prentice just came out with a very good point. At the end of the day, he has one belt in his division. And even when he was in the lower division, 126, I don't think he had more than one belt in that division. So what he said he has one belt, bro. And he put that question mark emoji or face or whatever. And he said at least unify a division. He has one. You know what? The way Lomachenko is talked about, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about, like, you know, I don't know why, but I didn't even really think about that. He has one belt in his division. Now, listen. I'm not saying if you're a one belt champion, you're bad. Errol Spence has one belt, and we could rock. We could do a hot seat right now. But in your honest opinion, and we'll do a hot seat, Errol Spence fought Kell Brook. Kell Brook has some work for him. He fought in Kell Brook's backyard, and that was Errol Spence Jr.'s step up in class. He ain't fought nobody equivalent to Kell Brook. Kell Brook had the better resume, and Errol Spence went to his backyard to fight him. You feel me? So Errol Spence also has one belt, but look who he had to go through to get it. Lomachenko, his one belt came from Rocky Martinez, who, in my honest opinion, the fight right before Lomachenko, he lost it to Salido, but the only reason he kept his belt is because they said it was a draw, right? Even Jeff Horn, whether you thought he beat Pacquiao or not, the judges thought it. And he beat Pacquiao for his one belt. Keith Thurman got two belts. You could look at Wilder. Deontay Wilder, he has one belt, but he beat Bermain Stavern, who was, at the time, people said was going to knock him out. Lomachenko has one belt, and nobody favored Rocky Martinez to beat Lomachenko, even though he was moving up, because of the experience gap and the fact that he had went to war with Salido, and really, he should have lost. And if you really know your boxing, he should have lost before the Salido fight. He fought Juan Carlos Burgos, and he should have lost his belt at that fight. Plus, he got beat by Ricky Burns, and he got beat by Mikey Garcia. It's not the same as Kell Brook losing to Golovkin and then Errol Spence beating him. So I just, when he put that point, I was shook. I was like, wow, that's actually true. Lomachenko has one belt, right? One belt. And again, I'm not saying it's bad to only have one belt, but the amount of effort that's being put into his push. Okay, JG Sosa, who are you talking to? Hold on. Who is JG Sosa talking to? We might have another hot seat. Or who are you talking about? Because I just seen one of your comments. Salido was too dirty in that fight. He was hit below at least 10 times. Isn't skill. Do y'all want me to body John Lawrence? Because he's making excuses. Listen. He's making excuses. Does John Lawrence... Do y'all want me to body him? Okay. So he's in the hot seat. He says Orlando Salido was too dirty in that fight. He was hit below the belt at least 10 times. Isn't skill the reason... Isn't the skills the reason he lost? It was bad calls. Okay, now you're cooked because you're making excuses. Pacquiao fought a Jeff Horn that was dirty. I thought he should have won, but I mean they didn't give it to him. Maidana was dirty as fuck, and you probably didn't care about that. You didn't care about when Maidana was kneeing Floyd, rabbit punching, using his size advantage. That's why Floyd post-fight, his lip was all busted. He had a cut over his eye. Rest in peace to Rafael Garcia, and Floyd still beat Maidana. So you're making excuses. You're making excuses. Lomachenko lost. Nobody said at any point that Salido had more skill than him, but that's the part of the pro game, and that's the part of the pro game he wasn't ready for. Not every fight's going to be super clean and tidy. You have to be equipped to deal with that. Now you go with your rebuttal, since you want to make excuses. He lost, and that's precisely why you don't challenge for a title in your second fucking fight. If Lomachenko would have fought Gary Russell in his third fight, and then, you know what I mean, by his fifth fight fought Salido, he probably would have beat him. He probably would have beat him. But that's everyone wants to feel sorry for Lomachenko, but it's his own team's arrogance that put him in the position. They thought, we got a guy with 403 fights, 2 gold medals, so we could just put him in there with Salido. He has a tailor-made style for us, and Salido wasn't having it. So yeah, he fought dirt. Berto was up against Robert Guerrero. He was up against Robert Guerrero, who was fighting him dirty. And shit like that happens. Keith Thurman beat Sean Porter. Some people say Sean Porter fights dirty and bulls his way in. It's the fight game. But once again, I don't feel sorry for Lomachenko, because it was his own team's cockiness and arrogance, where they thought they probably overlooked. They looked at their talent, and they looked at Salido. Oh, he got double-digit losses, but he's a respected guy in the division. We can beat this guy. And they might have been able to if they took a couple of fights, but they wanted to defy the odds and fight him in their second pro fight. And I agree, he did make weight or whatever the fuck. He's fighting wild. It's part of boxing. Not everyone's gonna fight. Jeff Horn don't fight. Terrence Crawford, if he fights Jeff Horn next, he's gonna have to deal with Jeff Horn using his head and possibly getting cuts unless he can keep his distance. It's part of boxing. I mean, I don't know one world-class fighter that didn't have to deal with adversity like that. Like, you know what I mean, where a guy fights wild or real awkward or something. Ward fought Alexander Brand, and some people didn't think much of it, but I was at the fight, and the dude was, he knocked himself down swinging. He was super wild, super fucking wild. And it's not that he's technically better than Ward, but maybe if he caught Ward with one of them wild shits, he would have been able to succeed. All right, here's his response. Maidana dirty wasn't a plan to hit a guy in the nuts like 10 times. He was terrible in that, but when someone gets hit in the nuts, we as men know how much it drains you. Once again, you're making excuses. How do you know what the fuck Robert Garcia and Maidana's intent were when you're not part of their corner? See, this is the part of boxing that I detest. The worst thing is, I try to show you guys so many facts, try to show and speak from perspective, but also factual. How do you know? That's my question to you. How do you know what Maidana's game plan was? How do you know that could have been his game plan all along? Robert Garcia might have said, psh, 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 hit the, you can't outbox this Mayweather dude. You know what I mean? We've seen all these fights of him. Hit him in the dick and then hit him on top of the head. How do you know what his game plan was? Please explain. This is why these dudes get buried in a hot seat, because they start lying and making up shit based on their perspective. We're waiting. Lawrence, please explain. See? All quiet on the Western Front. He said Maidana was dirty, but his plan not to hit the nuts. He was planning to dirty, but in the match he never aimed for the nuts. For the nut. You're full of shit. And who cares if he aimed for the nut? This is how I know who knows shit about boxing. If he aimed for the nuts or if he didn't, the bottom line is Floyd got hit in the nuts. Who cares what he was aiming for? Floyd kept getting hit in the nuts. And Floyd even said post-fight, hey, next time, if we rematch next time, tell your fighter, stop hitting me in the dick. He an MMA fighter. Y'all really want me to serve up these bodies, man. I'm gonna have to go to church, man. I'm gonna have to go to church, man. So once again, this guy's lying. Lawrence guy is lying, explaining here. New media, we prove this shit. Mayweather tells Maidana, don't hit me in the dick. Maidana tells Mayweather, this is on Fight Hype, let me use my gloves. Mayweather tells Maidana, don't hit me in the dick. Right? Mayweather to Maidana, you were touching my dick in fight more than my woman. Okay. So he got slaughtered. So whether he was aiming and all this other shit you were talking about, Floyd is saying, oh, hold on, here's another one. He buried this dude. Floyd Mayweather to Maidana, the next fight, don't hit me in the dick so much. Okay, so that's 3 separate videos. Floyd saying I was getting hit in the dick. So but Maidana, he fought dirty, but he wasn't aiming for Floyd's dick. If he was aiming for it, if he was trying to touch it, if he was trying to jack him up, whatever the case was, he was getting hit in the dick. And Maidana fought dirty, not just low blows. He was getting hit rabbit punch. And at the end of the day, dirty is dirty is dirty. And Floyd fought through that. So you're full of shit once again. And you're trying to justify Maidana fighting dirty and Floyd prevailing, and then fighting again. And then I had a channel at that time. People were okay with Maidana fighting dirty. Stop crying, Floyd. Floyd, shut up. Who cares? Let's vote. If he got that supreme L, trying to see, that's what I'm saying. They don't care about Floyd, so they want to justify when someone fights him dirty. He's just got to figure it out. But for Lomachenko, he gets some double standard where he doesn't have to just figure it out like every other boxer. There's been a ton of people who have been fought dirty and they have to like calm this shit down. All right, somebody get Lawrence out of here. I don't remember his first name, but you guys should know him. Does anyone of my mods know him? His last name is Lawrence. He got that L crucially. Thank you, J-Dog. We caught another one, man. That's what this is what I'm talking about. This is what we deal with in boxing. Double standards. People want to judge. Like, how can you tell me, unless you're Mikey Garcia, Robert Garcia, Big G, or Maidana, how do you know what the game plan was for the fight? Shout out to Mr. Gloves. You know what I mean? He's like, no, Maidana wasn't intent. How do you know his intent when you weren't in the corner? That could have been the game plan, because anybody with a brain can tell you that Maidana can't outbox Floyd. That's why the second fight looked worse. Floyd used his legs more, and that's why the fight looked completely different. And he went to the body even more. You know what I mean? So once again, these guys lie and make up stuff. Oh, Maidana didn't mean it like that, but Salido did. Listen, it's a fight. You got to figure it out. Really how the game goes. Especially if the ref ain't giving you your calls. And on top of that, Mayweather was grossly outweighed. Salido and Lomachenko's been pretty big. He might even be bigger than Salido, like height-wise and shit. Shout out to Kennedy. He said, Maidana didn't mean to, but Salido did. LOL, pathetic. Hey, you guys see it. As long as you guys see it, that's what makes me happy. Because when people get these bodies, you guys get to see their argument. These are the talking points that I have to battle. So when you guys see, even when they're not live stream videos, you guys see these types of comments. Do you know what they're about? It doesn't matter. Well, Salido has a taller, bigger reach. You're saying that's cool. That's really not the basis of what I'm saying. But anyway, let's talk about that comment from the boxer. Lomachenko has 1 belt. He has 1 belt. Listen, he has 1 belt. And he's being rated over Terrence Crawford, who just took out a village. The whole 140-pound division has been taken out, wiped out, right? Has been taken out. That's factual information. I was at the fight, and he became undisputed. And you can make excuses like, oh, nobody wants to fight Lomachenko and stuff like that. But listen, if you could get Rigondeaux to leave from 122 and come up 2 weight classes to fight him, then if the money's right, I'm sure you can get the other people too. If you can get Miguel Mariaga, who just lost like 3 or 4 months before he fought Lomachenko at the StubHub Center, to Oscar Valdez, to come up from 126 to 130, I'm pretty sure if you don't lowball them, they'll fight him. You know what I mean? Terrence Crawford just took out a village. He took out the whole 140. He could say without a shadow of a doubt, I'm the best. And then you know what else? You know what else is crazy? If y'all want to know what else is crazy, let's get to 275 likes. And can I get a hell yeah? Okay, Rios Frankie. Do y'all want another hot seat, or y'all want me to just keep going? Are y'all tired of these hot seats? If y'all want me to put Rios Frankie in the hot seat, let me know. Put hot seat. All right, Rios Frankie. More bullshit. This is what I'm saying. Okay, Rios Frankie. He says no one wants to fight him. Davis be running. Okay, it doesn't look like Tank Davis and Mayweather Promotions have wanted to fight Tank. I mean, have wanted to fight Lomachenko. I will give you that, but there's nothing in stone in terms of like they reached out to him, sent him an offer, or anything like that. So, and besides that, we said unify. Davis ain't the only one with the belt, and Davis don't even have a belt right now. So what are you even talking about? Davis just lost his belt on the scale. Oh my gosh, man. See, this is what I'm saying. They don't even know what they're saying. They just look for the scapegoats. Davis be running. Davis be not having a fucking belt. So who cares? Because that wouldn't be a unification. And there's people with belts. The Japanese dude that just robbed Tevin Farmer, Machado, and then also Miguel Berchelt. And he's bringing up Gervonta Davis. So did they reach out to Miguel Berchelt and say, hey, we want to offer you a good purse to fight Lomachenko? And he said no? Because I haven't seen nothing like that. You know what I mean? So what are you talking about? We're talking about him having won. Oh my, let me let him respond. So Rios, where you at? Rios Frankie, you brought up Gervonta Davis be running, but he don't have a belt anymore. So you said no one wants to fight him. What did he say? Someone said he responded. He said, why would you reach out with his team when they have said they publicly ain't ready? Who? Who is they? What team? He lost the belt after they made the Rigo deal. No, he lost the belt in August, and they made the fight in September for that. So that's an L, because I was at Canelo versus Triple G when I got the news for Rigondeaux versus Loma, and Tank lost his belt when he fought Mayweather versus McGregor card. So that's an automatic. Listen, do you guys understand? I don't even have like, all I have is my memory. All I have is my memory. I don't have notes. I'm not on looking on my computer, and I still know this stuff. So you've already got multiple strikes because you said he lost it after the Rigondeaux. I was in Las Vegas for the Canelo versus Triple G fight when the Rigondeaux fight was announced. And Tank Davis lost his belt on the scale weeks before when he was on the Mayweather-McGregor undercard. And once again, why are you even talking about Gervonta Davis as if he's the only champion when he's not even a champion anymore, and multiple people have belts? So even if Tank Davis didn't want the fight, what about Berchelt? He beat Francisco Vargas in January, I think, for the belt. Because I was at the Leo Santa Cruz. See, this is all off memory. I was at Leo Santa Cruz versus Carl Frampton 2. I covered that as media. Mikey Garcia knocked out Dejan Zlaticanin, and I didn't get to see the Miguel Berchelt fight versus Francisco Vargas because it was on the same day. So it's your turn. Why? He says Davis is the one being hyped as much as Rigondeaux, so why not make the deal? Strike 2, because you keep avoiding the question. Floyd be saying he's the next big deal. Strike 3. You've wasted all your responses. Why are you still talking about Tank Davis when he has no belt? You said, listen, people. Listen to what people say. The whole concept, I just said Loma has one belt. Fact. Rios Frankie says no one wants to fight him. But in all of his responses, he's talking about a beltless Gervonta Tank Davis who lost his belt before the Rigondeaux Lomachenko fight was made and announced. And all he's talking about is Rigondeaux. I mean, Tank. He don't have a belt anymore. So once again, even though you've already exhausted all your options, I feel bad for you. So I'm going to give you one last shot to answer this, Rios Frankie. What about Machado, who just beat Jezreel Corrales? And what about Miguel Berchelt? Because Tank has no belt, so he's not even a factor in this situation until he gets his belt back. So I have not seen any interviews where Miguel Berchelt said, oh, fuck that, I'm not fighting him. Michael was in negotiation. Who the fuck is Michael? Michael was in negotiations with Salido too. If Loma won't have fought Rigondeaux around this time, everyone would have said Loma don't want the Rigo fight. Who is Michael? I don't even understand who Michael Jackson? Who's Michael? Let's vote. I never heard of. I thought his name was Mickey or Miguel or something. But anyway, let's vote. If he got an L, just put your L's up. If Rios Frankie did not fight his way out the hot seat, put your L's up. Once again, more bullshit. What about Machado? He got a belt. Where's his offer? Oh, you're gonna blame Rigondeaux for it too. Okay. And another reason you're full of shit is because the Rigondeaux fight took months of Rigondeaux trolling. Yo, get Rios Frankie out of here. He doesn't even deserve to hear the rest of the conversation. He's blocked. The fans have voted. This is what I'm talking about. We just catching bodies. Listen, this is how you know he's lying too, is because the Rigondeaux fight took months to make. Rigondeaux had been trolling, because I've been making videos. Rigondeaux had been trolling. He had been trolling Lomachenko for a minute before the fight was made. You know what I mean? And so they could have chose another option too. You know what I mean? They could have chose a unification. I mean, or what about this? Before they fought, why they fight Miguel Mariaga? Why didn't they fight Miguel Berchelt? Okay, so fuck the Rigondeaux shit. Instead of fighting a guy from 126, Miguel Mariaga, when you clearly have more experience, you have more momentum because he was coming off an Oscar Valdez loss at 126 moving up. Why didn't they reach out to Miguel Berchelt, who was a champion, who didn't have a fight, who became a champion in January, instead of fighting Miguel? So you could have switched to Miguel's. Instead of fighting Miguel Mariaga, a 126er, who was coming off of a loss months before on a top-ranked card, right, to Oscar Valdez, why didn't you fight the other Miguel, who has a belt, and try to unify and then fight Rigondeaux? This shit is too easy, man. Loma's fans are setting them up for failure. I mean, if you can't handle the hot seat, then you're just getting flamed up. It is what it is. So that's that. Last thing I want to talk about, I'm about to get out here, is I just been burning too many people, so this shit's too easy. What do y'all think of Teddy Atlas not being on ESPN? Are y'all happy or sad? Type your emotion. Happy, sad. Teddy Atlas ain't doing the live ESPN shit no more. Damn, sad, indifferent. Teddy's ridiculous. You know, I think, honestly, I don't know what it is. I think Teddy started changing, though. Happy, too biased. I think Teddy he started changing a bit. Kind of like Max. Someone said he did change. I thought you said, how did he change? For example, for me, this whole game is crazy. It's like there's side deals, secret society. Like Teddy Atlas, for him to look at Andre Ward's face, who was a guest commentator, and Terrence Crawford after he became undisputed in that fashion, knocking out Ndongo with a vicious body shot in round 3, and then stating he's moving up. For you to look at both of those gentlemen American champions, and say, yeah, I put you behind Lomachenko. I'm like, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. And I know Teddy knows his stuff, but that's disrespectful. But listen, the last thing I can see, and I have to keep bringing back Lomachenko because it's not Lomachenko. He could keep doing what he's doing. If he's making everyone quit, all that, if he wants to unify, that's cool. It's the old media. It's what they're doing. Crawford became undisputed, yet you say, and see, you can't use the Rigondeaux fight because the Crawford fight was before Mayweather McGregor. I was at the fight, so this was before before we even knew Lomachenko was fighting Rigondeaux, let alone the outcome to the fight. So my question to you is, especially at that time, Ward had beaten Kovalev a second time by stoppage. Crawford had unified a division, and you still said Lomachenko, who we didn't at that time, because I was at the fight in August, you didn't even know he was fighting Rigondeaux, and you still said he was number one above them two. How is that fair? Somebody explain that to me. How is that fair? You didn't even know he was gonna. So it'd be one thing if he had just beaten Rigondeaux's ass or something, maybe. I still wouldn't put him at number one. But even if you knew that some kind of way, that'd be one thing. But we didn't even know that fight was going on. Crazy. Crazy. You know what I mean? But this, I'm going to just say it. Y'all want me to just say it? Can we get to like 200? I'm trying to get close to 300 likes before I get out this bitch. If you're new to the live stream, please hit the like button. But if y'all want me to say it, if y'all want me to just say it straight up how I see it, can I get a hell yeah? Just put a hell yeah. And everything I say, I can speak to it. I just need a little bit of motivation. If y'all want me to say it, can I get a hell yeah? Like, listen, I'm gonna just say this shit. In America, I really feel that the African American experience with fighters, they have to do more. It's just that. It's that simple. As far as the old media, in terms of the old media's eyes, they have to do more. And I'm going to give you guys some examples of what the fuck I'm talking about, right? So we just talked about Lomachenko. We didn't even know he was fighting Rigondeaux. And Teddy Atlas still said, you're 10-1. And, no, you're 9-1. He said 9-1. And I'm still going to put you over Andre Ward, and I'm still going to put you over Terrence Crawford. Meanwhile, check this out. Meanwhile, Ward, they said, you won the Super Six, you beat people like Edwin Rodriguez, Chad Dawson. Who cares? Leave 168. He said, okay, fuck it. Did a multi-fight deal with HBO, said, give me 2, and I'm ready for the light heavyweight champion. His very first fight, he took a light heavyweight that was bigger than him, because I was at the fight, and a light heavyweight who had 85% knockout ratio, and a light heavyweight that's still doing good since the Ward loss, knocked out Shabransky before Kovalev, and then he beat Joe Smith Jr. broke his jaw. So Barrera's still a factor in the division after losing, and that was his first one. He dominates him, knocks him down. Then he can't get no real opponents. I talked to Ward. He couldn't get no opponents, so they settled for Shabransky, who had really not even been a... he had a couple of fights at like 170, 175 or whatever. So he took that, and then he fought Kovalev. Then they said, you didn't beat him convincingly enough. Some people said, oh, you won. Some people said you didn't. Then he fights Kovalev and stops Kovalev, and you still put Lomachenko, before the Rigondeaux shit, you still put Lomachenko ahead of Andre Ward. Terrence Crawford, he took out a village. He took out a whole division. Listen to me, people. He took out a whole division, and he could hold his arms out and have on 2 arms, every single strap there is in that division. Every one. Undisputed, right? That's where it doesn't, listen to me, people. It doesn't stop there. On top of that, he could stick around and fight Regis Prograis or Jose Ramirez, Amir Imam winner, but he's going up to another division where the guys are bigger, hitting harder, And it looks like in March or April, he's going to be fighting a rugged, very durable, strong guy named Jeff Horn, who is a champion. His very first fight, he's fighting for a title fight in another division. So he's running to the fire. He just became undisputed. Meanwhile, Lomachenko has one belt, less fights, less knockouts, right? Yet he's getting more praise. Bob Arum saying this guy is the best since Muhammad Ali. And then today he did an interview after the Jeff Horn Gary Corcoran fight. He said Terrence Crawford is one of the best, and he has a skill set, so you could favor him. I would favor him, but don't sleep on Jeff Horn. He said, if you think Jeff Horn has no shot, then you're crazy. Bob Arum, you know what I'm saying? But when Bob Arum's talking about Lomachenko, he's not saying if you think Mikey can beat Lomachenko, you're crazy. He's talking crazy. He's saying like Lomachenko will make Mikey quit in a division that's not even his, when we've never seen Mikey quit, and Mikey's clearly stronger than him. So it's like, what are we talking right now? You know what I'm saying? Why is Bob Arum pushing Lomachenko, which push him because he's a good fighter, but you're pushing him to the capacity of he's gonna make a guy in a bigger division quit. Listen, oh my gosh, man. Listen to the bullshit. Arum says, Lomachenko will make Jorge Linares, a very crafty, talented fighter, and Mikey Garcia, he said they're good fighters, but Loma will make them quit at 135. But guess what? I will bet how much money? Like, somebody name a number between 1 and 3. Someone name a number between 1 and 3. Number between 1 and 3. The first thing I see, okay, 2. You guys put 2. I will bet $200 that Lomachenko does not fight Mikey Garcia in his very next fight. I bet $200. I promise you, everybody who's in this stream today, $200. I will find some kind of contest or something, and I will hand out $200 to whoever wins the contest if Lomachenko in his very next fight fights Mikey Garcia. Now, the reason I'm doing that is just give money back to the fans, and I don't think it'll happen. But if it does happen, I have no problem paying. And I'm a man of my word, so I will pay. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because just listen to what people say. So Arum is so confident that Lomachenko is the best since Muhammad Ali. He's so confident that Lomachenko can go up to another weight category, 5 pounds higher, and stop not only Jorge Linares, but Mikey Garcia, and make him quit. But most likely Lomachenko's not going to fight him in his next fight and have to prove it. And then for me to say this, then I'm the Lomachenko hater. But meanwhile, Crawford just became undisputed at 140, and his very first fight, he's taken on a rugged puncher whom I don't know what Crawford's power is, so I can't say he hits tremendously harder than Crawford, but he's still a belt holder. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why does Crawford have to move up? I mean, I know he wants to, but I'm saying, why does he have to move up and prove himself his very first fight in a new division with a big puncher and a champion? And Bob Arum is not saying, Bob Arum in his own words today said Crawford is one of the best. But if you think Jeff Horn has no shot, you're crazy. Listen to the way it's being promoted. So if he says from a skill perspective, you got to favor Crawford. But if you feel that Jeff Horn has no shot, you're crazy. But he's so confident that Lomachenko can make Linares and Mikey Garcia quit. But most likely he's not going to fight anybody, especially Mikey Garcia, in his next fight. And he's not undisputed at his current division like Terrence Crawford would. So that's what I'm saying. You guys, I know people who don't bring up race and stuff, but it's a factor. Why is it that the black experience, like Terrence Crawford, he has to do so much? You know what I'm saying? Why does he has to be undisputed? Okay, you cleared out a whole division. Now immediately fight a rugged ass puncher who comes in with his head. You might get cut, you might be bleeding, and he's, from what I hear, he had to drop 20 pounds or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But Lomachenko, you could say all of this stuff about him, but he's not going to have to prove it in his next fight at 135. And listen, before you guys start the bullshit, if Loma wants to stay at 130 and try to unify, fine. But don't be... Why mention Mikey Garcia and Linares, two people who said they would fight you, and Jose Ramirez said he'll come down to fight you after a Amir Imam fight. It's like, don't mention them. Don't mention them if you're not trying to fight them and move up. You know what I mean? You can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, we'll beat all these lightweights' ass. And then they're like, okay, I'll fight you. Jose Ramirez, we fought him in the amateurs and coming off a good win. He said after Amir Imam, he said, I'll fight Lomachenko at 35. Mikey said he want that work. He'll make them an offer. And Jorge Linares said he'll take it. But Lomachenko most likely will not have to prove it. Like I said, top-ranked matchmaking. I mean, there's no other way you can describe it. Top-ranked matchmaking, Lomachenko, he's good, he's a beast. But once again, why is Terrence Crawford annihilated? It's just like he's being thrown more to the wolves and being made, not even thrown to the wolves because he can hold his own against really anybody at welterweight, but being thrown to the wolves in the sense of there's no recovery time. He just had he was just undisputed, and now he's already fighting a champion who at the very least has a puncher's chance. You know what I mean? Lomachenko just fought a guy coming up 2 weight classes, right? So Lomachenko could fight a guy coming up 2 weight classes, and then before that, oh my gosh. Can we get to 300 likes? Man, the points are just flowing today. Do you guys listen? Remember what I was telling you about? Are you guys still there? If y'all want me to keep going, can I get a hell yeah? I just gotta see that you guys are still here. And I'm going to keep telling you about what I said about the top-ranked matchmaking. If y'all are still here, can I get a hell yeah? Okay, you guys are still with me. Now that I think about it, on top of Lomachenko having 1 belt and being considered the best since Muhammad Ali, he could beat Floyd, he could knock out Mikey Garcia, but most likely won't have to prove it. Remember this contest. I'll give someone you guys pick the number. I'll give him $200 if Lomachenko, a fan, if Lomachenko fights Mikey Garcia next, I'll find some kind of contest and have a $200 giveaway. Straight up. But listen, Lomachenko has 1 belt, and you realize his last 2 fights, both of his fights this year, a guy was coming up in weight. One of the guys was coming off of a loss in that lower weight class. He fought Miguel Mariaga, 126-pounder, and he moved him up to 130 for the opportunity, beat his ass. He fought Rigondeaux, who called him out, 2 divisions lower, and he beat his ass. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, like I said, Crawford, that's 2 people who had to come up 1 to 2 weight classes, and one was coming off. So one had more of a weight disparity because he came up 2, and the other one was coming off of a loss. Meanwhile, Crawford just fought a guy who was taller than him, and Julius Ndongo, who had some good momentum beating people in their backyards, Ricky Burns, Troyanovsky, and he annihilated him. I was at the fight, right? And then now he's moving up, and he's fighting an undefeated Jeff Horn, who's a champion. Stop it to who? Oh, I'm just blocking this dude. I see what he's putting. I'm not even, like, I'm about to get off, so I'm not even. I seen him kept putting comments, so he's out of here. He's not even being respectful to the game. So anyway, that's my whole point. Like, and that's why I said what I said about the. And look at. Before I get off, you guys have one last opportunity. Everyone gets mad when race is brought up into the sport. Everyone gets mad when race is brought into the sport. But I'm challenging anybody before I get off right now to disprove what I said about the black African-American experience as far as fighters, the standards, and comparative to Terrence Crawford, what he's having to do versus Lomachenko. Please explain that. We're doing an open hot seat. You know how like you're about to sell your house, an open house? We're doing an open hot seat for anyone, because I'm race baiting and all that. This is the stuff that they bring and try to attack you with. Oh, you're fucking race baiting, man. Okay, I'm race baiting. Fine. I'm racist. I'm Hitler. I'm race baiting. I'm gay. I'm whatever. Whatever. All that. I'm all of that. Like Eminem said, I am whatever you say I am. Now let's get to the hot seat. Let's get to that work. I'm everything you say I am. Now let's get to the work and disprove what I just said. Open hot seat. Prove to me what I just said with Lomachenko and the Terrence Crawford and compare their experiences. Please explain how it's different. Because I'm race baiting and I'm just, let's get back to boxing and all this bullshit. Explain the difference. All right, we got a hot seat. His name is Hero. He said the accuser is actually guilty. Are you saying I'm guilty? What am I guilty of? What am I guilty of? See, this is what I'm talking about. When I do other videos, right? So much to say, so much disagreement, and y'all know the history of that hot seat, and y'all know what it's about. And now all of a sudden, we have almost 200 people in here, yet we got no one with us. Everyone wants to clown Rigondeaux for quitting and Victor Ortiz and stuff, but some of y'all ain't got no balls either, because I know you want to say something, but you're not willing to say it because you know what that hot seat does to y'all. Yo, Israel, I'm gonna give you 15 seconds to retract your own comment. If not, one of my mods take him out of here. Count down to 15, and if he doesn't resend that creepy comment he just put, get him out of here. I'll give you the opportunity to retract your own comment. That's really suspect what you just put. His name is Israel Vale. We're gonna clean up boxing. Please believe it. Yeah, that's the weirdo stuff. Don't, like, no one's talking like that. But anyway, my whole thing is where's all the disagreement? You're race baiting. You don't want to give Loma credit. You're hating, but they don't want to prove what I'm saying as inaccurate. Tell me Crawford. I mean, like I said, it proves in the pudding. Bob Arum said today after the Gary Corcoran win, he says Crawford is very skilled, but if you think Jeff Horn has no shot because he's moving up, listen, he says if you think he has no shot, then you're crazy. Yet when he was asked about Mikey Garcia, he was super bold. He said Mikey will quit. Mikey will get knocked out. And Loma would be moving up in that same equation. But guess what? I promise you, well, I can't promise you, but in my heart of all hearts, I do not think Team Lomachenko, Top Rank, will make the deal and get it done with Mikey Garcia next. And I just did a poll, and everybody picked Mikey Garcia. They would love to see that fight. But once again, I'm telling you, this is the Top Rank. This is the Top Rank matchmaker. They did the same thing with Pacquiao. They built Pacquiao, built him. He's a commodity. He's selling all this great stuff, right? And it's like, oh, he'll beat Floyd's ass. Okay, why are you not putting him in there with Terrence Crawford? You know what I'm saying? When it came down to it, for years you said he'll beat Floyd's ass. Crawford hasn't accomplished as much as Floyd. Put him in there with Crawford. And all of a sudden, you never see that. See, back up 4 hours ago. For his next fight, who do you want to see? And you guys can vote too. Vasil Lomachenko fight most. 25% of people said Gervonta. 65% of people said Mikey Garcia. And look at Gary Russell and Barrichello down there. So almost 2,000 people voted. You guys can continue to vote. I put it up 4 hours ago. Just hit the community tab. But look, so there it is for Top Rank. 65% of people want Mikey Garcia at 135, even over Tank Davis, because they know Tank don't have a belt right now. And probably they just like, you know what I mean, Mikey has a lot of fans. They like the matchup. Once again, I'm going to clean up boxing, people. If I'm wrong and Lomachenko fights Mikey Garcia at 135 in his very next fight, there will be a $200 giveaway. We'll get some stuff done. So It is what it is. But that's the fight that interests me the most. And before people keep bringing, see, this is the bullshit. They're gonna say, "Oh, ego. Why should he have to go up to 35?" Just like you did with Golovkin. No, 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 no. Golovkin, he and his team said we will fight anyone from 154 to 168. You opened the floodgate. Him and Abel Sanchez, all of them for saying that. No one at 54 to 68 can go 12 with Triple G. Then they even entertained fights and said they were down to fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Carl Froch at 168. See, it's the same. History repeats itself, right? So you're willing to fight Froch or Chavez Jr. at 68. The fights didn't happen for whatever reason, but you don't want to fight Ward up there. So don't get mad when people want to see Triple G versus Ward at that time, because they opened those floodgates. Just like Team Lomachenko. The people are voting for Mikey Garcia. That's because there's shit talking going on. You know what I mean? Mikey's saying, "I'll fight him." And then Bob Arum saying he'll quit. Antoine Williams just caught a fatal L. He says, "You broke and you hungry for a W, want to give a $200 away." Yeah, I've traveled to more places than you have this year, but I'm broke. Seems legit. If y'all want to give him an L, put your L's up and I'll block him. If not, then we'll let him stay. But he says I'm broke, so why would I want to give away $200? Why would I offer $200 if I didn't have it? Like my lights are gonna get cut off. You know what I'm saying? That's what other YouTube channel is offering $200 for nothing, just for a fight being made. But I'm broke. Okay. See, listen to what people say. Okay, y'all voted him off the island. That was easy. See, that's what I'm saying. Just the reckless talk. We always end up getting them. You're broke, but I've been to more places than you have this whole year. I've been in New York like 5-6 times this year, and I could have went more if I wanted to. And I'm a West Coast dude in Cali, and staying for a week at a time. Like, but it's cool. I'm not here to brag and gloat. I do me. I do all right for myself. It is what it is. But once again, the people have voted. And see, like I said, Team Lomachenko opened the floodgate because they've been calling out Mikey Garcia. Fight Hype has an interview where post-Rigondeaux fight, they said, if you could fight, who would you want to fight next? He said, Mikey Garcia. Yeah, Mikey Garcia. So don't blame me and the fans for wanting to see it. When you called him out, you said you want to. But again, if the fight happens next, Lomachenko's very next fight, then I will have the giveaway. But once again, Terrence Crawford, his next fight, he fighting for a title in a new division after being undisputed. And listen, I promise you, people keep saying you hate Loma, but not proving it. But they keep saying it, right? My thing is this. If you fight Mikey Garcia next, there is no applicable excuse that I can think of, no applicable excuse that I can personally think of where fans wouldn't give you credit for making Mikey Garcia quit and knocking him out at 135, like Bob Arum said. Can y'all think of one excuse? He's undefeated. He's active. He knocked out Dejan Zlaticanin at 35, and he had Broner gun shy at 140 and dominated Broner. So if Lomachenko moves up 5 pounds, which he called Mikey out, what could people say? They can't say like Rigondeaux was 37 and, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he was 37 and he moved up 2 weight. They wouldn't be able to do that at all. So you guys let me know what people could say to downplay the victory. See, he would, by fighting Mikey, you would strip away excuse me. By fighting Mikey, you would strip away all possible excuses after the fact. You can't, it's not like Mikey's doing the 2-year top rank layoff, right? He's been active. He's 37-0. with 30 knockouts, with good names. In fact, some of the names on his resume, he beat, like Orlando Salido, who Lomachenko lost to, and he beat Rocky Martinez by stoppage before Lomachenko, right? He just beat Broner at 140. He knocked out a champion, Dejan Zlaticanin, after a pretty long layoff and only one fight. 37-0, 30 knockouts, 81% knockout ratio. He's a little bit taller than Lomachenko, right? And he's the same age. They're both 29. So you guys got to listen, man, and peep game. There's nothing anyone would be able to say to downplay if Lomachenko can produce what everyone says, or what, not everyone, what Bob Arum says, what Lomachenko says, and he called him out. So don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me because I want to see it when he called him out. Think of one excuse that someone could make for Loma to move up 5 pounds to the guy he called out and beat Mikey Garcia and make him quit. What would you be able to say? He comes from a fight family, good trainer. He's never showed a lack of heart before, and he has 37 victories, 30 knockouts, taller than Loma by a hair. I mean, what could you say? Loma, I think, would school Mikey. Well, first of all, your name is Vasil Lomachenko, so you sound like a groupie because your whole existence is named after Lomachenko. That's for starters. Second of all, everybody, assholes are like opinions. Everybody has an opinion. I thought Rigondeaux could beat Lomachenko, and I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, nobody really cares about, no disrespect, but your name is Loma Lomachenko or Vasil Lomachenko. No one, people just want to see it. No one even knows you. No one knows who you are because you're hiding under the alias of a fighter. You know what I mean? So my thing is, let's see it. There's nothing to talk about. You called him out. He accepted. Y'all got to negotiate and get the money right. The fans want it, and there's no excuse. And same thing for Mikey. If Mikey beat Lomachenko, nobody's going to make any excuses because Lomachenko, he's a very talented fighter. So if Mikey all of a sudden beats him, then what could you say? Loma has no power. Once again, top-ranked matchmaking. I don't see them making the fight next because they want to continue to shit talk Mikey Garcia, but they're not going to make the fight next. But meanwhile, like I said, Tim Bradley, he had to fight Pacquiao 3. This is what I'm saying, the African-American experience. Bradley fought Casamayor. He had to damn near get his fucking bald head knocked in and deflated by Ruslan Provodnikov. Fought Pacquiao 3 fucking times, right? Fought Diego Chavez, who was a damn good boxer with power and bigger. Fought Brandon Rios. You know what I mean? Just anybody, Lamont Peterson, Devin Alexander at the time, Marquez at the, you know what I'm saying? African American, he just had to fight whoever to earn his keep. You know what I mean? And Top Rank never really said, oh, Bradley's the best. He just beat Marquez easily, you know what I'm saying, with minimal power. You know what I mean? Because when Floyd, even though Floyd outclassed him, some people were using the excuse on weight. Bradley's not even a big puncher, and Marquez had experience at 47. Bradley still beat Marquez decisively. You know what I mean? He survived a concussion while fighting against a big puncher and then outboxed Ruslan. You know what I'm saying? But once again, look at Top Rank. Look at some of the African-American fighters. Look at their experience. Bradley just got to keep fighting. He fought Pacquiao 3 fucking times. Pacquiao's a legend. He fought Pacquiao as much as Morales. You know what I'm saying? And beat him once, allegedly. You know what I mean? Diego Shaw, he didn't get no cakewalk. He didn't get no cakewalk to the retirement. You know what I mean? But Lomachenko, they're telling us he could beat Floyd. He's in 11 fights. He's greater than Muhammad Ali. They could say all this shit, but he's probably not going to fight Mikey Garcia next. You know what I mean? So it's just like there has to be a balance in the matrix, no pun intended. You know what I mean? There has to be like some kind of balance of like, are you gonna shit talk 135 pounders, or you want to stay at 130 and unify? If you want to stay at 130 and unify, then maybe you shouldn't be challenging, and maybe you should get in your fighter's ear and say, don't call out Mikey Garcia. Maybe Bob Arum, the promoter, shouldn't talk shit about a guy he used to promote and say he'll get stopped. You know what I mean? Because Mikey Garcia probably heard that, like, oh, I'll get stopped? Okay, I'll fight him. You know what I mean? Crawford, same thing. He had a fight. Guys, nobody wants to fight. Who wants to fight Felix Diaz? After he gave Lamont Peterson, Lamont Peterson is about to fight Errol Spence. Some people even think Felix Diaz, and they say, and people are saying it's a good fight. So Felix Diaz arguably beat Peterson in some people's eyes. You know what I mean? And he beat undefeated Sammy Vasquez, and he fought at 47. Crawford dogged him. Crawford fought guys that are bigger than him, Postal and and Dongo. And now he's gonna fight a rugged ass, durable Jeff Horn who could take a punch, has more experience at the weight, and has noted at least like good power at the division. And Crawford's coming, like I said, Crawford's running to the fire. He's running to, and he's calling out Keith Thurman, saying, I could fight Errol Spence, and showing no fear. But Lomachenko's getting all the backing from Teddy Atlas and Dan Rayfield and Bob Arum, and they're telling you that no one can beat him and this and that, but he's not running towards the fire. Like, his last two opponents came up to him in weight. So he definitely had the weight advantage because he's pretty big for a 130. Definitely bigger than Rigondeaux and Mariaga. And Delorme was bigger. So, again, all I'm asking is for someone to prove me wrong. Like I said, if Top Rank makes Lomachenko versus Mikey Garcia at 135, there will be a $200 giveaway on the channel. I don't see it happening, but if it does happen, I got $200 on deck, and we'll do some kind of live stream content or something just to celebrate, because that's a good fight. But that's what I'm saying with the game and the way the media, they're putting a lot of pressure on Lomachenko, because I just want to see, like, if someone keeps telling me this dude is like, he can make Mikey quit and all this, that's a good fight. Let's see it. Like, look, it's really not just me. 65% picked for Lomachenko on my poll. Almost 2,000 votes. Look at the poll. I might make a video about this. New media. It's not like I'm the only one that wants to see this shit. And the other thing is that's a good fight. Like, they both have a West Coast fan base. They both, you know what I mean? Like, there were, like, it makes money. Like, what makes more money? You think Lomachenko will get a bigger purse for fighting Mikey Garcia or Miguel Berchelt? What if they fought at the Staples Center? Like someone just, my man Marlon has said. That would be big. Loma trains in SoCal, and so does Mikey. Yeah, man. And see, and like I said, you guys can say, oh, you're a hater, all this extra stuff. But at the end of the day, that would be a sure shot. If Lomachenko can do what Arum is saying, that is a sure shot victory that nobody would be able to dispute or take away or anything. Listen, can we get to 300 likes? I'm literally about to get off here. But I'm going to ask the question one more time, see if we can bait someone into a hot seat, right? Once again, name one really credible excuse that somebody could use for Lomachenko moving from 130 to 135 and making Mikey Garcia quit and retire on the stool by knockout. Name, what could you say to deny or doubt, you know what I mean? What could you say to that if he did that? Versus if he fights Nicholas Walters, you could say, oh, he came off a draw and he's on a long layoff and he gained a lot of weight and he what's the name? He was inactive or whatever. Miguel Mariaga, you could say, oh, he was coming off of a loss and he moved up in weight. Rigondeaux, you could say he's 37 and he came up 2 weight classes even though he called for it, right? But if he fought Mikey, like if you look across, if it was like a board, he has everything checked. He has 2 fights in this year. One was brutal knockout, Dejan's Latish, a knockout of the year at lightweight, where he became lightweight champion, that he's still a champion. And then he schooled up Broner at 140. You know what I'm saying? So he's been active. They both have 2 fights. They're both 29 years old. Lomachenko would be up against a power deficit, in my opinion. Right? So he would have a power deficit. Mikey Garcia has showed versatility in his attack, where he could fight. He pressured Broner, who's at 140. You know what I mean? So he showed the ring IQ to mix it up a bit, or to box or whatever. So once again, top ranked matchmaking. Terrence Crawford, his very first fight is likely going to be a rugged guy who's still undefeated, guy who's a champion, a guy who beat Pacquiao. That's what I'm saying. Like okay, Crawford beating an undefeated guy who beat Pacquiao. That's a solid win for your very first fight at welterweight. That's very solid to me. You know what I mean? Because Jeff Horn, he could take a punch. Pacquiao hurt him so bad in round 9, and he was still there. So to me, if Terrence Crawford can move up 7 pounds after being undisputed and deal with all of that, because Pacquiao didn't even look good in the fight, even though I had Pacquiao winning. So if Crawford can nullify and neutralize that, that would be impressive. Broner is Mikey's best win. I mean, he has others. The Salido win was very impressive to me. He knocked him down 4 times. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. Like, Crawford, he's taking the same thing when Ward fought Kovalev and Sullivan Barrera. What could you say about the Sullivan Barrera win? What can you say about? Oh, we got another hot seat. I knew I could bait somebody. Tutti Frutti, which is a suspect name. He says triangle theory, get real, bro. What triangle theory are you referring to? I knew I'd be able to bait somebody. Come on, little Richard. Everybody grab your popcorn. We got one last hot seat before I get out of here. He fell for the mouse trap. It's a matter of time. I was talking to someone in the chat. Ego, not you. False alarm. We don't got one. All right, I'm about to get out of here. But this was a good one. This is a good live stream. How are we 4 likes away from 300? Like, really? Y'all can't hit the like button. We can't get to 300. If you're in the live stream, let's see if we can push it over 300. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. It's very simple. Lomachenko is a skilled fighter, very good fighter. But when the powers that be, I like that. When the powers that be keep feeding us more and more, and like to the point where it's like you're trying to force feed us. We get it. He's talented. He's skilled. He has a great amateur record. 2 gold medals. No one can beat him. Muhammad Ali. He beats Pretty Boy. But when you keep doing that, then now the expectation level gets set higher and higher. And like I said, when it comes to African American fighters in general, look at what they're having to do to gain this much respect. Ward had to leave 168, where they had the James DeGales, the Badu Jack, and Gilberto Ramirez. People like that started to become champions and emerge. He could have easily stayed there, and I think he probably would have beat those guys, right? He moved up, fought Sullivan Barrera, and then fought Kovalev within 3 fights. Then it wasn't good enough for people, and then he came back. He came back and then knocked him out. You know what I mean? So, for a 29-year-old, people just want to see him take risks too. He's taking some risks. I mean, he fought for a pro title in his 2nd fight, and he's taking some risks. But like Mikey Garcia and Robert Garcia said the same thing. They said the same thing. He said it's like, look at the opponent. You got to look at, like, based on his experience and what he does well, none of the fights. Okay, here. This is the last thought I'll leave you guys with. Just listen to this. Are you guys ready? Y'all ready for this last point? Oh, it just keeps flowing. Name a fight that you think would be more even on paper, like the betting odds, than Mikey Garcia versus Vasyl Lomachenko, that Lomachenko has already fought. Like, where the odds would be, like, all things considered, fans in their mind and all that would be the anticipation of the fight. It would be like as 50-50 as Mikey Garcia and Loma at 35. He said I'm back in this live thing. We about to get off here in a minute. None. No. Hold on. Some of you guys aren't understanding the question. I'm saying a fight that he's already fought versus Mikey Garcia. Meaning, if not listen. Maybe I didn't word it good enough because some of you guys are confused. I'm not talking about a person he has not fought yet. I'm talking about someone Lomachenko has fought. Name somebody that Lomachenko has already fought, all things considered, that Lomachenko got more credit for beating them than he would if he beat Mikey Garcia at 35. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So, all the credit with looking at Mikey Garcia's knockout ratio, his style, his momentum, all of that, how the odds would be. Name a win that would be more impactful than beating Mikey Garcia at 135. Do you guys get the question? Zilch, nobody, none. That's what I'm saying. This is my point. No, Loma versus Russell 2 doesn't count because they haven't fought. I said name someone he's already fought. Like, okay, this is a last. Most people get it, but some people don't. Lomachenko fighting Orlando Salido in his second pro fight. That was valiant, ballsy, or whatever. Salido probably had like 10 losses or so. 9 or something at least, right, at the time. So you would clearly give more credit if he moved up to 35 and beat Mikey Garcia, a guy who beat Salido and knocked him down 4 times. So that doesn't count. When Lomachenko fought Gary Russell, he had 24 fights and he didn't really have any bodies. Mikey has 37 fights and more knockouts than Gary Russell had fights. You know what I'm saying? When they fought at that time. So you can't really say that Gary Russell gave him more credit. Rigondeaux moved up 2 weight classes at age 37. Mariaga, you know what I mean? Nicholas Walters was on a layoff coming off of a draw. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I don't see Lomachenko gaining more notoriety than beating Mikey Garcia at 135 based on anyone he's fought already. If he fought Mikey Garcia and did what he's been doing, then no one can take away anything from him. Because Mikey has activity, Mikey has power, Mikey's slightly taller, Mikey has a good style, Mikey has a great trainer and training family, Big G and Robert Garcia. He's been boxing like where he has an amateur pedigree, fought Terrence Crawford in the amateurs, he fought Broner as a pro, he has a good, solid pro style, solid pro resume, beat a couple people before Lomachenko even fought them. That's what I'm saying. There's no one like that on Lomachenko's good and good for 11 fights resume. There's no one. There's no one he's fought that I could think of that he would get the praise that he got from Mikey, who just beat Broner at 140. Loma is your high. That's all it is. I don't even know what that means. Someone says, bout Mikey turning down offers, bro. That's all been out there. What are you talking about? What offer did he turn down? Do y'all want me to body this man, Jeff Boxing? I think he might have been in the hot seat before. All right, we got one last hot seat. Okay, so he says Mikey turned down Linares, Easter, Cotto, and Figueroa. I don't know who Mikey's fighting next, so I don't know nothing about that Figueroa shit. That's just me. As far as Robert Easter, I never once heard that he turned down the fight. He was offered the fight, offered a substantial amount of money, and he said, fuck that, I'm not fighting Robert Easter. And I never heard Robert Easter, Adrian Broner, or anybody else say that. So I really don't know where you even heard that from. And then your last 2 people, he turned down Jorge Linares, which is documented, and he turned down Cotto. He called out Cotto, so he wanted to fight him. Golden Boy knew they were losing Cotto because he had 2 fights and he was retiring. So it wasn't worth it for him to fight Cotto at 154 and sign a multi-fight deal with Golden Boy just to fight Cotto at 154. So I don't blame him on that. If they did it, if they offered him a pretty penny, I mean, it doesn't. Why are you gonna move up to 54 and have to be in a Golden Boy contract, a multi-fight contract? So then when it came back to the Jorge Linares deal, they didn't try. They said, okay, we can offer you something without a contract. He said the contract was fair, and that was a good offer with no exclusion, no sign-up deal or whatever, where he had to sign up a Golden Boy. But he said he could make more money in his very next fight with what he's been doing on Showtime. So he declined that. So that's just a business decision. I don't think it had nothing to do with he was afraid of Linares. He's making more money with whoever he fights next on Showtime. Al Heyman offered him more money. It's not that hard, and it's a business. So now Jeff, he says, I don't knock Cotto, turned down. Bro, I'm just saying, everybody check on this after the stream. Mikey been looking at options and jumping on one. So you prove my point. The Cotto turn down made sense. No one ever. Have you guys heard about Mikey receiving a contract and ducking Robert Easter Jr. or receiving a contract for Omar Figueroa and ducking that? Has anyone heard that? 'Cause I watch boxing, cover boxing all day. I never heard that. I never heard anything about him. He might even fight Omar Figueroa next, for all I know, because I heard they were trying to make that fight. So I don't even know where you got that information. So realistically, the only ones that we know of that we can substantiate were the Golden Boy deals, and he got more money. He could get more money than he's gonna get with Linares, and the Cotto shit, he would have had to sign a Golden Boy deal. So let's vote. I'm out of here. Should I just save him or should we vote? Do y'all want to vote for Jeff's L? Jeff Boxing? Okay, listen. He's backing up the ball. He said ducking is a strong word. I never said that, bro. I'm saying I'm hearing talks of fights and they're falling short. I mean, that's business. That like, first of all, listen, you're losing even worse now. See, this is what happens. Instead of just taking the early L, they keep saying more and more and more, and then they take a deeper L. So we just went through it. You named 4 people that he avoided or fell apart. They fell apart, and no one can seem to remember but you. No one could seem to remember any of those situations, hearing about any of them except for 2. And those are the Golden Boy ones. So the Omar Figueroa, the Robert Easter, how did you find? See, this is what I'm saying. They keep talking and they make it worse. So Robert Easter Jr., the fallout through this fight, and then the offer for Omar Figueroa that fell out. Where did you get this information? I'll go to it right now. What website? No. There will be no mercy. I don't want to give mercy because they keep talking. They keep going on. So I'm telling you, where did you hear that these fights fell apart? Was it Los Angeles Times? What website? ringtv.com? Boxing News 24? He said, nah, bro, never said duck. My point is Mikey probably ain't gonna like the Aram offer. Man, I heard talk all over YouTube boxing community on Robert Easter, bro. That's not necessarily a credible source, and you haven't even cited like a credible YouTuber that's in gyms and stuff like that where you heard this information. Like, again, if it was like Fight Hype and they're in Robert Easter's gym or something, he said that, that's one thing. So you're just going from a random YouTuber and saying you heard that this with no backing. So once again, you said 4 people and no one's heard any of those except for 2, and they're the Golden Boy options. So once again, that's deceitful, because now you made it look like Mikey had 4 fallouts for fights, and we can only substantiate 2. People's memory can only recall 2. Man, we could Google it after the stream. I was hearing side talk Mikey and Easter, and it ain't happening. Insights. No, I heard that they were kind of in talks, but how is Mikey to blame for it? I heard it was in talks too. Right? I heard it was in talks too. But how can you blame Mikey's side for it falling out? What if Robert Easter was like, I'm champion too, and he shouldn't get more money? I mean, we don't know. So that's the whole point. Is let's say they were negotiating, because I heard that too. I'm not arguing if they were negotiating. I'm arguing that we don't know what happened with the negotiations. I'm saying I've never heard something where the fight was contract was signed by Robert Easter and about billions, and Mikey looked at it and he was like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm not fighting this dude." Because you just blamed Mikey Garcia for 4 fights falling apart. So that's my whole thing, is where's the basis? Where did Mikey? How do you know Mikey is the reason for the talks? Sullivan Barrero is supposed to fight against Artur Beterbiev. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of fights that are in talks and then they never get past that. That's not the issue. The issue is, how is it Mikey's fault? He says in talks. Yeah, I'm not saying it's all Mikey, bro. All I say is there's been a handful of good fights from Mikey falling through recently. But realistically, how are they falling through when, I mean, let's say he had 20 fights that fell through. You don't know unless you're on the negotiating. Maybe it's not his side. This shit is too easy, man. I'm about to get out of here. It's like pointless. He's backtracking now, copping pleas. My whole thing is, we don't know all the inside information except for what leaks out. So you can't just automatically say, oh, because I heard his name and Mikey, that it's Mikey's fault for the fight not happening. You know what I'm saying? How can you say what happened in the Robert Easter negotiation? What if Robert Easter said, I got a better deal to fight Denis Shafikov in a rematch? You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the hell happened. So you can't just automatically blame Mikey's side. It's not the Mayweather-Pacquiao negotiations. Why we know how Pacquiao didn't want to take a drug test and why the fight fell apart. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'll let him stay, even though I don't think he beat me in the hot seat. But I'll let him stay because I'm about to get off anyway. Yo, thank you for the stream. I'll probably be back tomorrow. Stay tuned to the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe button. We come in new media, man. The future. Peace out, y'all.